Morning, everyone. How are we doing? How are we doing, everyone? Morning. Starting slightly early here today, but we've got lots to get through. Those that joined me on the stream yesterday will have known I was looking short side because the breadth in the market was awful. And I was expecting this move. We had another go at it in the afternoon. We actually made really good money in Discord yesterday afternoon playing the short side for the move back down. But unfortunately, they didn't give us the full move. They did it overnight, didn't they? They did it while I was fast asleep. There we go. It is what it is. But it was expected. So as always, we're going to look for clues in the charts, look for the levels that we're interested in trading in and go over everything now. Make sure you're fit and able to be here today. All right, make sure you're in the right mental attitude, that you're physically capable of being here. Make sure you've gone through your morning routine because today is going to be volatile no matter what. So what do we have? Well, we're starting to leave the old balance range. All right, so this is last week's low, last week's high, and we were in a range in here developing. This is now a lower high, and we're starting to come into this gap. Now, it's worth noting that on the spiders, very, very important here, on the spiders, we have filled this first gap. We have the next gap filled down to that 20-day available. The spiders already showing relative weakness there and are already starting to fill that gap. All right, so the other thing, you can see the volume we created above. If we're going to leave this is what I've been talking about. If we have a gap down day where we leave an island high, this becomes available. And you can see we're pretty thin in here. So I'll be looking for 500s and then sort of 350. Straight out the newsletter, folks. This is the move we were looking for this week in the newsletter. Once we get anywhere down here, we want to be careful to see if higher time frame buyers come back into the market or not. And if they don't, then we probably go here for a while into this cluster before an attempt to move lower, maybe January. I can't imagine it happening before then, unless there's blood on the streets, which is possible. All right, so that's what I'm looking for today. I want to see how we act if we fill this gap and continue to drift down to that 20-day. Remember, that would be a standard mean reversion. We don't have to do it in one day, but failing, this is why we don't buy above the top Bollinger ever on swing positions, and I expect some form of mean reversion. You're going to get one of these if we start to fade with it, so we will see. But this cluster here is what really interests me long term, if and when we get there. All right, we can look for more clues into this in the daily chart, in the hourly charts. Let's just move over and have a look. Make sure you can see all of this. Let's make this a little bit bigger for you guys. There we go. All right, so just focus on this chart down here. You can see previous week range. This was the balanced range from last week. Right, no acceptance above, inside range. We talked about it yesterday. Remember, yesterday was inside a monthly, a weekly, a daily, an H4 and an H1. And I said something will give. We can't stay like that forever. When we do these rotations, that was 3 days yesterday. When we do these 1, 2, 3, someone is going to get hurt. Right now, it's all the bulls. So imagine waking up today and you have been a bull ever since last Monday. Anyone who's been buying this market since last Monday is now underwater. All right, they are now starting to feel the pressure of this sell. All right, so if they haven't already stopped out, they're going to wake up this morning and think, holy shit, what's just happened to me? It is only the buyers from last Monday onwards who are in trouble. Remember that. Everyone else, very, very comfortable since April this year. So you've got 6 months of buyers comfortable, but this is the first time we've left a balance range. What does that mean? Well, we talked about it again in the weekly newsletter. It's why it's so important you guys read this newsletter that goes out for free every week. If you're not, it's in the chat right now or in the link down below. It's completely free. I will now be looking to see if we find acceptance underneath these levels. All right, all the time we are failing in front of 25,920. Right, then I'm looking for lower prices or at least a retest of this low. All right, so all the time we're failing this, I'm looking for this. If we start reclaiming previous week, this is going to be a look below and fail, and this suddenly becomes very, very bullish for the upside. All right, so we have to be aware of that. I don't really want to short lows today. All right, this is a huge move already. Remember, yesterday's value is all the way up here. We've left that value, and we're now trading, 400 plus points lower or something? Yes, over 400 points lower. So we need to be careful. So ideally for me, I'd want to be shorting pops today. Now, where are we going to short those pops is the other thing, because we don't want to short these lows. We do have gap fill potential. All right, so we've got traded into this gap. We have gap fill potential down into this block here. So I'll be looking for a trade into 500 if we can get it. Where I'm interested in, this is overnight volume you're looking at right here. All right, we built out a cluster here overnight. All right, if we can trap bulls today, I'm really interested. Where will that be? It will probably be over that cluster. All right. So if we can do a big squeeze out this morning through the 800s and get buyers coming in here and short sellers stopping out, so we get buy side market orders come in, and we can reject anywhere in front of this. It could be just a little wick, or it might be the whole way up. But all the time we're under this, I'm looking to sell pops today. All right, all the time we're underneath previous week value, I would like to sell pops. I'm not trying to sell the lows. I want to make that really clear. I will need buyers stuck in this market. If we come all the way up here and we do one of these and we keep going, there's nothing to sell. All right, there's literally nothing to sell. So I'm waiting to see how we act. Ideally above these wicks, a little trap above these wicks, even if it wants to get exuberant, and something like this lower time frame for a move back into a cover point would be back into here, and then runners fall below if it wants to let go. That's what I'm thinking about. But ideally we need to move higher first into a level of interest for me. All right, in towards this balanced range, into where all these buyers stops were. Right here you can see this big imbalance because these are these stops getting wrecked. So ideally somewhere into that will be ideal for a sell. If you want to play the counter trend, by all means, I'm not going to tell you what to do. If you really want to try and trade that, but that for me is not a trade I want to be on. All right, I'm not looking to trade that. When I know bulls are stuck above, that's not personally the trade I'm going to look for today. I'm going to look for that move down. I need to move this up so you can see it. There we go. All right, let's just go over what happened overnight. All right, most of this was stimulated by this move here. The reason they held it up, so yesterday we were short here at the open, and then in Discord we were short here as well. Really, really nice trades. I sneeze here. Sorry, folks. All right, this was Palantir. Big beat, and guess what? They sold it. Starting to be a similar story. We've got AMD later, we've got tech later. So they sold Palantir even on the beat. All right, so then we open up, they wash hard, we base, Asia sells, we sell again, London sells again. All right, you don't want to be selling the low of London ideally, unless there's major panic. What we want to be seeing is a return back inside some of this to sell. All right, so that London high is going to be key for me. How we at there? Hopefully we can take it out. Okay, let's move into the lower time frame. We've gone over all of this. If you're wondering what this yellow box is, it's just this balance range from overnight. All right, I'm just watching this little profile from overnight. Ideally, I want to see us either reject this, which we did earlier, or trade through it and then find a rejection. So I've just got it marked out. It's lighter in terms of volume because it's overnight volume, but we did trade there pretty much from 1 a.m. till now. So it's a good 8 hours back and forth. All right, but this is the main level that I'm interested in, that previous week value area low. All right, let's go through the other charts. ES, same story. I don't know why it's doing that. Key thing on the ES, like I talked about in the spiders, look at that retest. All right, we're already coming into RBS zones. So here and here. All right, you want to be careful. If you're thinking about short side on ES, it has had relative weakness, but your opportunity, unfortunately, you're in an RBS zone. I would not want to be looking to initiate new short positions in RBS zones. Very, very risky. These are probably cover points. If I was short on the ES, I would have wanted to be short, after this look above and fail. What day was that on? Wednesday. Trade down, get stuck. All right, this is my cover point. And now I'm holding my core position short side from up here. And if we keep drifting, fantastic. But I would be taking profit here. So just be careful of that. And you can see it is reacting to these zones for now. So just be careful if you're an ES trader today. Think about the zones. Make sure you're zooming out higher time frame. SPY and Qs we've already gone over. All right, you can see everything happening there. You're starting to get this weakness coming to gold a little bit more. So the froth is generally coming out the market, which is what we talked about. Gold will need to hold this pivot down here. All right, but failed again up here. So in a range, but the froth starting to come out this market right now. VIX, surprise, surprise, is ripping. All right. So here's the move, gapping up. This now becomes blue. I need to zoom out of this. Okay, we can do 2 of these because that's quite big. So you can see the targets above for VIX. If it holds, we're going to go risk off. I'd be watching this pivot here at 21. You can set price alerts for these. If we break through 21, there's gap fill, and we can start looking for like 23s to 25s if we get through that. Obviously, there is this old high from up here, right? If we start doing that, you are looking at a trending, puking market, right? We're not there yet. Just remember, we've only just exited the balance range. We have not tested that balance range yet. So just be aware of that. Let's not get too short side yet. All right, let's go through the mag. Apple, as you'd expect, most of the mag will be gapping down here, folks. All right, so yesterday, it's still printing pretty well. It's holding pretty well. Remember, 270 is all-time high. Make sure you're getting zoomed out. We are below daily close. We have put in a bit of a pin high. All right, it can afford a pullback towards sort of 58 to 60 to see if it wants to continue higher. All right, what I think we're seeing at the moment, I talked about it last week. I think I talked about it in the newsletter. Maybe not. Maybe just in Discord, is a rotation out of the, I don't want to say shitty names, but like not your premier names. So you're getting a rotation out of some of those quantum names, your rotation out of some of the retail heavy names. Where are they going to rotate into? Where's your money safest? It's safest in the mag. If we see a rotation out of the mag, that's when you need to be more worried. For now, Apple holding up. We are gapping down. There is sell pressure here, but it's well above that breakout retest zone. Amazon, here we go. So I'm glad I took profit in this. Starting to come back down to some level of normality. Now, this is what you can't sustain in a market. Gap up, all right? If this starts failing up here now, you're going to have a shelf here, and that is your gap fill potential, all right? It's possible on Amazon. Again, gapping down, but still holding bullish structure, all right? But if we start getting stuck under that, there is a gap fill potential in it. So 2 of them gapping down so far. Goog, remember, weak. 2 overextended. This is a parabolic over 3 standard deviations. Stocks cannot maintain over 3 standard deviations. All right. Remember, when we play the Qs and the spiders, we're looking at 2 standard deviations into the top Bollingers. This was well over 3 standard. Zoom out on the daily. That is ridiculous, right? It's not sustainable. It's coming back down to earth. It doesn't mean that this market has to give everything back. This is just some profit taking and a back test of some key levels. All right. So the first key level will be here where we broke out of. All right. 270 down to sort of 260s. Failing that, we're coming to this old base into 260s, 250s. But this is just some froth. All right. This is froth. This is profit taking. This is what has to happen in the market. We cannot keep going straight up. I talk about it to you guys all the time. We move in waves. All right. We're in a pullback right now. Meta is weak, all right? Since earnings, this is a weak looking stock, all right? Again, coming back down to earth a little bit. It can afford deep pullbacks here, but coming back down to earth. It's already taken a good chunk out of it. Think about this. Only a week ago, we were trading just shy of 800. We're now at 629. Think about the bag holders caught at the top of those. Why you don't buy premium prices, all right? It's why we don't swing up there. But yeah, getting hammered here this morning. At some point, that will start catching a bid. Microsoft, same kind of story. All right, they sold it on good earnings. This has been the story recently. All the earnings have been good. Look at this. Froth coming out of the market. We were trading at 560 pretty much only a few days ago, already back down to the low 500s into this old base. If we start fading this base, you can see the amount of stops down here, all right? Link about how long we spent into these 500s, all right? If they wreck that, you're probably going to get a stop hunt. Then I'm interested in buying. Another gap down. So mag, weak. Nvidia gapping down as well. And at the edge of this range, all right, here's most of the range. So I'd say 2 look aboves and fails back into here. What do we have later today? AMD earnings. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised if more froth comes out and then we see what they do on AMD. Tesla has been on that ginormous run, again, gapping down, right? Decent gap down there, over 10 points, 14 points or something. Oof. But still into structure, right? Structurally, it's trying to hold the top of this range. This is all going to be created from Elon saying he wants that $1 trillion sort of care package for himself. So it depends whether they're going to give it to him. And if not, he's saying he's willing to walk. He won't walk. There's no way he'd walk him. It's his baby. But that's what the market's pricing in at the moment. We can have a look at some other names which are coming later. So AMD, like I said, I sold this into that move towards the 70s. And I've only got a small piece less. I had to take profit. It was too frothy up there. I'm expecting after earnings a deep pullback, and we've got gap fill potential. I can't keep holding for all of that. The only other one I want to look at is Palantir, because this is what started the cascade, and there you go. Right, so make sure, again, look at it on the daily. Does this look like a healthy trend? Not really. I mean, yes, it's trending, but that is an over-exaggerated, over-extended move. All right, since only in a month, right? You're thinking a month we've traded from September, like 140s all the way up to 207s, just coming back down to back test the area we broke out from. Right, so interested today, like I talked about, in shorting pops as long as we don't reclaim key levels. It's going to keep it as simple as possible. The moment we reclaim key levels, then it means we've looked below and failed. All right, I'm not going to play the move up. If we drive up in the morning, I'm going to look to fade that move when it's done squeezing. Okay, that should have you guys set. Make sure you've got all your levels drawn in, folks. Let's see who's in this chat. Pull this up so I can see you all and get through some good mornings. Morning, Clint, Toby, Jesse, Omalabi, Raf, Full Forward, Info Risk, Ken, Asa, Awani, Yvonne, Miguel, Marek, DJ Noah, Silem, Troy, Sergio, Mark, Tyler, Calypso, Mark Dilson, ERF, Richard, Lou, Christy, Moni. Good morning, everyone. I'm not going to get time to go through everyone this morning. Market now open. Let's just see what we get here, folks. Let's see what we get here. And remember, the market is bleeding this morning. The MAG are very, 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 very red this morning. So you have to see if panic comes into this market. Like I said, I would like a morning drive first. If we look at everything, Tesla 3.36% down, Nvidia 2.5% down, Microsoft 1.60% down, Meta 1.25% down, Google just under 2% down, Amazon 1% down. Relative strength in Apple 0.36% down. So everything else on my board, literally everything on my board is red right now, folks. Remember, we started seeing this yesterday. It's why I was not willing to take longs yesterday. We talked about the market breadth in the newsletter. We talked about it live on stream yesterday. I showed you the market breadth yesterday. Literally everything bar maybe 6 names, Eli and Lilly, and maybe 5 or 6 of the MAG were green. Everything else was red. That is your sign that the market's starting to rotate. All right, so we're back into this volume area that we created. And let's get one of these on for the 9:30. And we're going to zoom in. Is that going to print it for me? There we go. Let's get you guys zoomed in a little bit. All right, and remember, I'm watching up here. I'd love to see them run these stops and then see a failure above that. That would be the best thing for me. Did any of you catch it overnight? That's the key thing. Did any of you catch it overnight? Love to see if we can get up to 800s. It would be fantastic. Let's have a look at the liquidity on the book. Is there anyone up at 800? Yeah, it's up towards 8s. So 60s and up towards 8s would be magnificent. If we could stop hunt everyone up there and encourage all the bulls, lower time frame to come in, that would be great. But we'll see. It might not have the strength to get up there. Right now, we're just trading into that overnight volume. Get rid of that. There we go. So failing New York Open so far. Let's see how we go here, folks. I'm going to give it time to settle. I would say one thing you need to watch today is your sizing. Your ATR is likely to be elevated, especially in parts. You're going to see swipes today. You're going to see it. Caught the London drops are nice. Peter got it. Nice work, folks. Yeah, it's hit that like button nice and early. Caught the long after the dip below previous week low and then reclaimed on the eve out. Blood in the markets today. Still fading that New York, still failing that New York Open right now. No reclaim of it. They got stuck in volume. They failed that lower time frame algo. I would love to short up here, but it might not give it. So we will have to watch now. Trading towards previous week low. I'd love a squeeze higher first. I really would love a squeeze higher first. It might not come. It might just be blood on the streets and complete melt. So we have to be aware of that. Let's get this up. Make sure. All right. Sorry, I'm in some ninja issues here. Copy had gone missing. There we go. Oh, dearie dear. Big sells. All right, let's see. This is Globex low. See if they sell through this. I missed that whole thing trying to clear the error messages from Ninja again. Another day with error messages. All right, into Globex low. We're seeing sell pressure here. This is a big level that we're trading into right now. And the low of this will be, trading views on one as well. Oh my gosh. 674. I'm going to have to refresh this so you can see what is going on here. Save that. Reload that. What is going on with this mouse? I don't know if you guys can see that. It's flicking. There we go. That's better. Okay, so just tagging in towards London low there. And we do have a low underneath into 643. I wish this mouse would stop doing this. If it calms down in a minute. So looking for a push up to fail now. Sellers coming in this market. Not really seeing anyone trapped yet. I'm just going to have to let this settle down, I think, after missing that first drive. Apple's still holding on well. So we're going to use that New York Open as your over-under right now. Don't want to short the lows. Previous week low getting tagged into here, this green line. Let's see if it makes anything else available for us today for a new low of day after a drive up. Can we get a way of getting into this market right now with some size? We're rejecting overnight volume. That orange box got rejected out the gate. Need some liquidity to be built here to get short side on pops. So I'd watch for this overnight low to get swept and then how it reacts, and then maybe we can get a drive up to sell. VIX still driving, 1950s right now. I mean, SQQQ is just a short side ETF of whatever happens on the Qs. So, and remember, it's triple leverage. So if it's up 5%, it will be triple what the market is. So QQQ is 1.63%. So SQQQ would be 3 times that. All right. So protecting that low. This is what we want to see. Come on, drive higher first. I'm not going to sell into the lows. We want to drive higher. In fact, up here would be magnificent. I'm not going to take that. Watching this New York VWAP and New York open as well. Let me just get anchor on and lock that in. Go back to this New York open. Right, watching this New York open, see if they sell it or if they can drive through up to the 800s. Remember, I'm looking for a drive higher to sell into this morning. That's what I really want. So it might just require an awful lot of patience here. Apple trying to go red to green. Relative strength. That's really good to see because I am still holding some of that long from 202s. Okay, back to previous week lows. Please go higher first. I want to get up into here. That's where I'm really interested. A bull trap up there, ideally. Don't really want to short this structure at the lows. Lots of buying came in that last candle. If we do break these current low of days, then I think we can flush aggressively, because the amount of buying that stepped in on this drive off here was considerable. It was all buy side until we traded 700s. All buy side until we traded 700s. So let's see if they bid off this again or not. If they're going to let it. If we get a new low day here, we're going to probably flush pretty hard, because there was a lot of buying that came in on that drive. And remember, target today is the 500. So watching this now carefully if they're going to snap. Delta at the lows there again. So they're trying to sell through this low of day. I want to be very careful here. I might feel much more comfortable trading up towards 800s. Really want to slam low of day. Come on, get up higher first. There we go. Okay, they're protecting those buys at the lows from that big candle that traded upside. It's a battle here. So sellers, I'd say buyers right now are trapped over 713. Sellers took control of 700. So 700 to 713 is where sellers will try and take control. If they fail, then we get a squeeze. Back towards these 700s where the sellers kept stepping in, back towards that New York VWAP. And if we trade through that, they probably try and push up towards New York Open. If we can fail this low, we're going to get very heavy very quickly. There's lots of buyers came in down there at the low of day. And if they get stuck, we make new lows. But so far, they're comfortable. Back towards this VWAP in 700. Remember, if we reclaim this, then probably New York Open. And then maybe we get that 800 move where I'm more interested. Not much to do this morning, unfortunately. Range isn't like too bad, but overnight did the damage. Still like 93 points of range this morning, but overnight did the damage. There we go. Come on, squeeze it for me. I'm not in this long. I'm saying squeeze it because I want to get shorts once bulls are trapped in the market. Delta kicking in. They're trying to drift upside towards that New York Open. I want to see it up over 800, ideally. Whether they give it to me or not is another thing, but that's where I'd like to see it get up into. Here's the New York Open, like we talked about, and we've got VWAP above. This is the area up here where I want to see bulls trapped above that. That's the big one for me. If we get really lucky, they get up to previous week value area low, and we can short versus that volume shelf up there. This is where we started to get thick overnight now, all the way into 780s, 800s. Feels like they've got more squeeze in it yet, but we'll see. Getting stuck there. Come on. Want it to get higher first. One more little squeeze out, please. There's some sellers up at 800s like we talked about. That's where I'm interested. 800s and over. 800s all the way up to 920s is the area of interest for me, basically. Come and sweep out all these guys, squeeze it up, and then I'll think about the short. at that point. If we fail shy here, it's going to be tricky. Always annoying when they do such a big move overnight that you're looking for the day before, and then you have to wait. It might be that we end up waiting all the way into afternoon session. We'll see. Come on, you got to complete this squeeze, please. Maybe not. Buyers got caught up there. Watch this New York Open. If they fail New York Open, we'll probably go back towards low of day. I'd like them to complete this move through 780 to 800s, but we'll watch. This New York Open is going to be key. Here's New York Open. Apple now green. Wow. Relative strength. Remember, SPY is in a buy zone. It's one thing that's important to note. Back to the VWAP. Okay, we're getting close here of the levels of interest for me. Very, very, very close now. These are the levels I'm interested in here and over here for a bull trap to short back down. These are the levels that I'm very interested in playing today. If we can trap bulls at the top side, maybe over this range, over this overnight range. Where's this wick? Top of this wick. If I drag this all the way up at 800. So 800s, squeeze out through 800s or anywhere into 800s, but ideally over it would be great. And then I'm looking for failures. It's that simple. So far, they're selling VWAP. Come on. One more push, buddy. Nice, Tyson. One more push. Come on. Get up there. Oh, we want one more push. Might not give it to us. It might not give it to us. Buyers caught up there twice now. One more shove up. Apple back red. I do want to sell this, right? So everything I'm talking about, I'm looking for a sell here. I want to make that really clear. I'm not looking to buy this. I'm looking for sells. I'm looking for bull traps to sell into. I'm looking for bulls to get trapped, ideally above this range, ideally at least in the top side, but ideally above this range to sell into. That's what I'd like. It's going to require a bit of patience. It's coming down into its pivot. Your New York Open will be a good over-under today. We are still underneath 24-hour VWAP. That New York Open's probably a good over-under today. Stuck there again. No, they're not letting those buys out. Here's your New York Open. Here's your over-under. Here's your over-under, folks. If they start failing this, it's possible we go lower day. You can obviously watch the other VWAP. If they fail this, it's very possible we go lower day. I really want to see us trade upside first. but buyers got stuck at the top of this range. Yeah, they're still stuck up there for now. Still no entry for me. Trying to be really patient, protecting that New York Open blue line. Ideally, I want shorts over 800 for a back test into key levels. Apple back, red to green. Okay, here we go. We might be getting it in a minute. We might be getting that in a minute. Come on. Stuck at the top side of this range. One more squeeze out will do it. One more big drive up through all these levels will do it. Oh, just want to see huge buys come on and price spike up and then come straight back down, or price not move up at all. Getting close, getting close. Give me a trade. You've got to go. You've got to go higher first. Or you've got to fail. You just can't just keep plodding. Here we go. Squeeze it. Come on. One squeeze. One squeeze. All you need. One giant squeeze. Balls flying in. Stop out the shorts. And then a lack of move upside. And then we can trade down. $10 as well until at 10 a.m. candle. Just check. I think I didn't check. Here we go. Nice. All right, perking my interest now. Almost at the 8s. I remember all the time. This is where we can trigger a squeeze, and then over this, I'm looking for failures in front of 920, basically. So anywhere from here. Anywhere from here looks interesting to me. As soon as I see buyers get trapped, selling come onto the book, more aggressive selling, I'm interested. Still drifting. Okay, here we go. Maybe I should have taken the long up for this, but we'll see. Come on. Perking my interest as we start to get up here. A little bit of a battle here. Developing. There are limit orders above looking to get filled. Still, there was some selling there, but no buyers trapped yet, in my opinion. Is this red box? 850, make sure that's lined up. Yep, okay. Okay, starting to look a bit better. That current level is basically 815s. Still holding that. Waiting to see basically a failed auction, waiting to see where buyers exhaust out We're in a short squeeze at the moment over 800s, like we talked about. I'm waiting to see where, if and where these buyers exhaust that. Remember, they don't have to. If they go and reclaim value, then, you know, can't play short side basically. If they reclaim value, that's the end of it. VIX getting absolutely hammered here. Let's see. Starting to see some selling coming in. Still, I don't feel like buyers are trapped yet. I don't see the exhaustion yet. Strong delta to the upside here, but I don't see exhaustion yet. There was a big buyer coming there. It's the first time I've seen it marked out. So volume traded here, but it doesn't feel exhaustive yet. It's close. So buyer held over 36s right now, 836s. That's where they came in. Still in control. So we're not under him. And all the time we're over him, he's comfortable. What squeeze? We expected the squeeze, but the further it goes, the more I'm like, am I going to be wrong? And they don't trap. We'll see. Nice work, folks. Nice work. Those who took the longs, like I said, I knew it was going to do this move up. Well, like I said, I'm going to focus on the shorts for when we finish the exhaustion, which we haven't finished yet. It's possible we come all the way up to previous week value, like we said. And if we reclaim that, oh my gosh, that's a way bigger squeeze up into these levels up here. So I'd expect somewhere near where we are now to start failing if they're going to fail it. If they don't, Meta now green as well, but by the way, folks, Amazon green, Meta green. Still not seeing exhaustion. Not seeing exhaustion on a book. Not seeing exhaustion on a book. Are they going to come for those 920s? Possible. It's possible. I can't rule it out. A little bit of delta at the top, but not a lot. Not a lot of delta up there to 870. Still doesn't look exhaustion to me. They're gonna need, like, you're gonna need a reaction, and not seeing that right now. You're just seeing a squeeze and drift higher. So my whole thesis for a squeeze up and then looking for buyers trapped and no further auction has not played out yet. I'm not seeing sellers take control yet. Last two candles were negative delta. We've not moved lower. That's telling you that it wants to move higher right now. So we have to wait and see. Sellers need it under 850s, basically. Sellers need it under 850s right now. If they reclaim 850s, if we go under 850s, we get a bigger wash. So here's the 850 check. This is where the sellers piled in and didn't get their move lower. If they get under 850s, then we can trade right down to 836s, and then it's a gut check from there to see what's what. That's where the big buyer came in. They're trading down to 850s now, and they're not letting these sellers out yet. The big buyers came in at 830s. Fail 830s, then we go back all the way down into this range here. So this is what I'm watching now. 850s, 830s perking my interest. We do have delta at the highs right now, but we're still not failing 850s. Need a kill candle under 850s, down to 830s, see how we act in there. Still holding 50s for now. Still defending 50s. So no sell yet. Still defending 50s. Mag still red. Other Amazon and Meta not red, but as a whole, yeah, 0.78% down, equally balanced. Amazon and Meta caught a bid. Remember, they've been the weakest ones in the market for a while, so they are down considerably off highs. Rest of the mag still red, yeah. Tesla 2.74% down, Nvidia 1.5%, Microsoft 0.83%, Google 1.2%, Apple 1/3%. You've got Meta up 1/3%, Amazon up 1/3%. Still defending those 50s, all right? All the time we're defending those 50s. Those bulls are comfortable in the market. There's still potential for an upside move to 920 right now. Fail 50s, fail 30s, I get interested in downside action. Until that point, not interested. We've got a new hourly candle coming here in under 1 minute, folks. Starting to see this volume being built out here now. Until we let go of that volume, no move lower. Here's the swipe for H1. So it looks like they were trying to get to those 920s at the moment. Man, these shorts need to just stop trying and just let it exhaust. Once it exhausts, it's going to be a really nice trade. If they keep trying, they're going to ruin this trade. We're not going to be able to take any downside today. $50s is still the level, folks. 50s is still the level, okay? You can see the volume built here. So if they protect 60s now, we can continue going upside. Once they fail this shelf here, we're more interested in the market. So just sat still. Nothing can do right now. And I'll attack it as and when. Back to the shelf now. You can see this grey area. Right? If they hold this, they're going to keep trying to bid up. Maybe they want to get into value. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. If they fail this shelf, then this is a straight squeeze since we broke out the 800s, which we called. Then we could probably collapse this squeeze back down. But right now, bulls are in control. Shorts keep trying to guess the high. It's not going to work if they keep doing this. They need to let the buyers keep trying to force the market up, which we've now seen for the first time today at 880. 850 to 830 still the level. Still the level. 850 to 830 still the level. This is a problem. So you've got negative delta the last few candles and we're not moving lower. So this is always a worry when you see it. I mean, shorts are guessing the tops. I'm just worried now that they've guessed so many times that my trade setup's not going to be there today and they're all going to get squeezed out, which will be annoying. I mean, will mean I've missed this big old run up and not have anything available. But hopefully that's not the case. But at the moment, that's what's starting to look like, unless we can see failure underneath this volume shelf. And the way that they're building it is going to become more and more awkward, because if they keep guessing and we spike, and they keep guessing and they spike, and we've got more and more volume of them trapped, and then it doesn't become available. Remember, I just wanted a straight squeeze, exhaustion, and fail. Unfortunately, they went add all the way up, and then they're going to probably destroy my setup at the moment. But let's see. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Still not under 50s. 50s and 30s the level, remember. 50s and 30s the level. Okay, there was the first candle. We had big buy delta at the top of this candle. All right, big buy delta. So anything over 80 right now is now trapped. So if they reclaim 80, buyers take control again. But anything over 80 right now, you have buyers trapped. And no breakdown here yet. So they're going to test 80 here. If they get through 80, then those buyers become comfortable again. Still 50. 50 is still the level. 50 is the level. I think it feels like they've got one more swipe in them to value at the moment, which is only at 920. We are into supply though. This is the area of interest for me. I've got that big bidder 1,000 lot down in front of around 30. Like I said, 50 to 30 is the level. Fail 50, we probably trade straight to 30, and then we can see what's what after that. Until that point, there's no trade for me. Definitely not joining long up here. Even if it keeps going, that's fine. I mean, a gap fill today would be fucking outrageous, but who knows in this market, man? Who knows in this market? So testing at 80 again. Remember, that's where the buyers are stuck, over 80. This is the problem. They keep trying to force the shorts. They've got to let it come rather than forcing in here. All the time they're forcing in here, they're opening up a new squeeze higher. Once we leave this volume, there's a nice move, but if they keep forcing, we can't. Looking for gap fill. I mean, it's another 300 points or something. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy if they do that. I'd be very surprised if they do that, but this market's done weirder things, hasn't it, recently? Okay, still unable to reclaim 80s. So bulls still stuck above 80s. Bears need a move under 50s. Under 50s, we trade 30s. Under that, we get very heavy. Come on. Okay, opening range now set, folks. Point of control is at this high right now. Here we go. So we're going to test 50s. Do we snap 50s to 30s is what I'm wondering. We've got to be careful of a fail breakdown under 30s or into the edge of this range. Once they start letting this go, it can get pretty nasty pretty quick. So perking my interest here. If we can break down under 50s, I'm going to look for shorts. If we can get under 50s. 56s, getting close. The buyers try and save this here. Expansion, 55s. Just watching the book here carefully. I want to see a kill candle come in and just wash all these bulls out. They're trying to save it, these bulls. They're trying to save it. It's a big level. It's a big level. You can see the shelf here because under that, straight down to 30s like we talked about, and then 20s, and then really down to these 80s down here. A big, big level. Buyers now trapped above 80s, sellers trapped below 50s. That's your range, 80s to 50s. They protected that low just then. There wasn't too much selling at the low there. In fact, there's more bids at those lows. Come on. Buyers starting to get stuck here. They're trying to force it up and they're not getting the move higher at the moment. They're not getting a move higher at the moment. They need to take control of 80s if they want that squeeze up to 920s. If they fail 50s, like I keep saying, I'm interested. tight. Considering we've done like 400 points, we're now stuck in 60, 70, a 30-point range, basically. Oh my God. This NQ is unbearable when it's like this. I feel like I miss all these huge overnight moves and then I get offered this waiting for my play. Yay, here we go. All right, here's the 50s. All right, let's see now. Can we get follow through? 40s, looking for 30s, and then back down towards the lows. I want to see follow through though here, please, market. So looking for rejection of 50s now. Reclaim of 50s, I'm not interested. If we reject 50s, I'm looking to add. I am now in for that break of 50s. Looking for a cover down towards 30s and then back towards the VWAPs. All right, because we've left volume stuck here. We're in the next volume shelf. If we fail 30, we come down here. So if we reject 50, if I see a trade in and I see sellers coming back on, I will come and hit this for a move down. If we don't, then I'll just leave my core position. If we reclaim, then I'm not going to be interested in it at all. I want to see this volume up here remain stuck, and I want to trade lower. So here's the 50s check. And big selling came actually in at 60 to 62. So that's actually the level, is 60 to 62 here. Yeah, 60 is the level. I'm going to watch 60s for the rejection. Reclaim of 60s, not interested. Ideally 50s, but 60s actually where the selling took place. Here we go. All right, come on, baby, because I waited so patiently. Let's go 30s and below now. Fuck, I was so patient for that. I want to trade under 30s, back towards the shelf, ideally at 80s. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's trade through all this volume, please. Don't get stuck at 30s. Let's just snap it. Let's go waterfall. Let's have some fun here. Let's have some fun here. Let's have some fun here. Here's 30s. Come on, let's have some fun here. Let's contract down to 80s and then let's go low day just for extra fun. No reclaims, please, 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 please. Come on, let's see some follow through. Need to be careful because we're holding flow zones. So, and this is where that big buy came in, was at 30s. I want to see pressure under 30s. If I don't see pressure under 30s, it's going to be very annoying. Be careful if they hold to save this, but I think we can trade lower. Looks good. Looks good. Okay, we're looking better now. Come on. Watching the book. 600 lot at 800s. And there's no reason to stop at 800s really. It was the top of a shelf, but I'm more interested in these 780s and below. And if we fail that, I'm looking for lower day, to be quite honest. Come on, let go of 30s. Stop fucking about. Don't want them to build a new shelf hit. Do not want them to build a new shelf hit. Otherwise, they're going to re-squeeze to 920s. All right, everything gone red again. So Meta selling, Apple selling. Well, they're flat. Amazon and Meta are now flat. They were up green. 60s is the level where those sellers came in. If we start reclaiming, I'm just going to have to cut, because if they've caught enough looking for the move I'm looking for and they want to go 920s, they will. And they can afford to go 920s if they really, really, really want to. So I need to be careful here. This volume here. I don't like the way they've built out another shelf here. That's not very pretty. All right, so I'm probably going to have to cut this runner here. You motherfuckers. Fucking shorts ruining my plays. All right, out on runner and have to wait again. Where's my mouse? All right, this is the 60s level point of control here now. So I'll wait to see if there's a reaction here. If there's no reaction here, then we're going to go 920s. We are bullish versus flow zone, so I have to be careful of that. I'm just trying to play in the main narrative, which for me was a move lower once we finish squeezing. But maybe they're not done squeezing it. Big level, big level. Please, why are we doing these 20 points? Please, market. I'm going to go back to bed if we get stuck in 20-point ranges today after a 400-point move. As I'm not going to sit and trade shit action if they're not going to give it. I don't care if it wants to squeeze higher. That's absolutely fine, but please get on with it. Bias is still lower until we trade back inside of value. So I think this morning was nothing more than a squeeze out. Great. TPT just gone offline as well. Ninja Trader's having a fucking nightmare. Is anyone else having this issue every day with these error messages saying like data issues and stuff? I've emailed them and not even got a response from Take Profit Trader. That's the one thing I'd say where they really need to improve in. Okay, Bears still defending 60s, Bulls defending 30s, so we're back in a 30-point rotation range. If Bears fail to hold 60s, then we're going to go 80s. If they reclaim 80s, we're going to go 920 for previous week value area high. All the time Bears can defend in front of that. I am interested in short side. I'm not trying to play the squeeze up today. I want to trade the price lower today. The market's heavy. I'm trying to let this market squeeze out and then offer the trade back down into this range here rather than try and trade this move up for a squeeze when sentiment is heavy. Yes, with NT8 data lag. I'm not having lag. I'm just having it where it goes offline. So like right now, all my TPT accounts just went offline. I've got like a failure to connect message out of the blue. And I'm not trading them, fortunately, but you'd be pretty pissed off if you were in a trade, and it has happened quite a lot. As in, I would say every other day for the last 2 weeks. That's way too much. Okay, back to these 60s. Point of control again. So if we trade through 60s, they're going to trade 80s. If they trade through 80s, they're trading 920. So it looks like a flag to go higher at the moment. It looks like flow zones are just holding price to go higher at the moment. This is point of control up here, though. Buyers are stuck over 60, well, at 60 and then over 80. Got to let it shake out. Okay, still defending 60s, back to the 50s. Oh, we're going to see follow through downside. I'm still interested downside if they set it up. I know flow zones are pointing upside, but look at the location. We're in supply. We've done a big squeeze out off the lows. I'm expecting a rotation at least down into here. And if we fail that, I'm expecting a rotation back down to earth. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get another coffee here while this fucks about. All right, still same area. Nothing's moving. Nothing's moving. I want failures, man. Market's bleeding. Broader market's bleeding. Yeah, sectors are all down. Everything's down. I'm not trying to bid up off that. I think there's still more froth that can come out of this market. You would say this is looking pretty bullish, lower time frame right now. It's back through the 60s, so we're going to go 80s, and if they go through that, they're going 920s. And it's the 80s, like I said, looking pretty bullish right now, and it's probably going to come up and check this. So bears, yet again, same story since April. I've done a horrendous job, an absolutely horrendous job of playing levels. They got in too early this morning, allowing this squeeze up. Probably went add, and when they had the chance to take control of 60s and 50s and 30s, they failed, and they've now allowed a lot of volume to be built out here, which is not ideal, and it's going to make it very difficult. My fridge open. One sec. Okay, just stuck in this range. So you can see the volume being built out. I'm getting frustrated because it's not giving me my play. All right, I'm looking for that down into here. We're not seeing it, so we're probably going to see them try and complete the move into value. If they reclaim previous week value, then really my thesis goes out the window, because we're going to let all these participants feel way, way more comfortable. We want all the previous week participants to feel uncomfortable. At the moment, they still feel uncomfortable. If we get through value, there's a drift up into here that can take place, which is, well, it's not very good. Basically, it's gonna ruin it. But if we can keep rejecting previous week value area low, then I'm looking for lower prices, because I know weekly traders balanced range is trapped above me. So I'm just looking for that to sort of play out. But at the moment, we're just not seeing it. We are not seeing it play out. We're not far away, but the momentum to downside is not coming. There's no momentum to the downside. And we're creating a new balance range, which is not what you'd really want to see. Let's see. Big seller just came in there, and I bet he gets fucking stuck. What was his size there? No, that's not him. Where is he? 130. Of course he got stuck. What a fucking idiot. Why are these guys so dumb? The reason I'm getting frustrated is because I can see people guessing tops, and when they start doing that, it's going to allow a drift higher. And then once we reclaim value, I cannot play. Goes against what I'm trying to do. So it's frustrating, man. I should just know better and know that since April, these guys have been terrible at taking control. I was hoping today, finally, after a big old gap down, they'd have the chance to actually maybe do something impactful. Bring back real bears. The bears of 2025 are effing lame. Yeah. I mean, I'm only looking for an intraday move lower or a retest. I'm happy to bid it back up later in the week. But yeah, I mean, maybe just spiders driving it. I don't know. Off that pivot we talked about on the daily. But I mean, there's just nothing I can do here right now. And I need it lower. I need this market way, way lower so I can buy in higher time frame with my swings. I'm not buying in up here. Just no way. Like, I'll manage my swing longs here if they want to keep pumping all the way to January, but there's just no way I'm buying up here. The average yearly move has been done off the previous year highs. The move off the lows is over 50%. Madness. But that's the market we're in. We're just stuck. The longer we're stuck here, the worse it's going to be. Coming an hour now. Initial balance about to be set. You just wonder if they're just going to shove it to 920, because that seller there is an absolute idiot who got himself caught. He might ruin the whole move. Nothing's changed. It's the same levels, folks. 50 failures, 80 highs. All right, so bulls are stuck over 80. Shorts need to control under 50. Nothing to do in this range. The rotation will continue. Reclaim 80. We're going to go 920. That I know I've been on repeat, but that's all it is. That's all we're looking at right now. And we get through here, and we go up to here. If we reclaim this, then Alex is not playing anything, because all edge dissipates once we reclaim value. Because all we're doing then is going back into a giant value area. And I do not want to trade there when it's just had the opportunity to trade outside of it. And I'm not going to trade edge to edge on the first move back in. If we hold here tomorrow, I'm willing to look at it, but not on first move back in. No way. And I bet you it just does the whole thing in one day, because it just feels like this market does weeks worth of moves in sessions. Okay, so 880 cleared. So guess what? They're going to look for 920s. They're going to look for 920s. Vic's still getting hammered, by the way, so no turnaround on Vic, so this can keep drifting. Okay, still the same levels. No close over 80s. It should really go 920s now. It's holding point of control now. My POC on Ninja has moved up here, so I don't know, this must be lagging, but it's up here now. Same levels, 80s to 50s, the rotation. Just waiting for a move outside of that. Ideally, downside, or a failed move upside and downside. I don't want to play upside today. I'm just not interested. I'm kind of regretting not playing the squeeze. I'm just trying to focus on the main direction. crazy, mate. $30 up here now. Oh. All of the market bleeding now. Everything's gone red. All of the mag red. But don't worry. Dixie's up. Market's red. VIX is up 5%. But it's okay. We just keep squeezing higher. It's the most synthetic thing I've ever seen. It's the same as yesterday. It's being fucking propped up. Absolutely propped up here. When the fail comes, it's going to be nice. Back to 65s. Do we go back to 50s? Is there going to be a failure? Is that a look above and fail? Is this a look above and a fail? Do we start letting go of this and trading downside? I'm watching carefully. You can see more aggressive selling coming into the tape here. These buyers start letting go, it gets interesting, but I just can't do anything in front of 50s. They keep defending, and the way they've built out this shelf is getting pretty thick here, 50s to 80s. You can see it. I don't like this node down here. It would be much better if this was way thinner. We could trade all the way down to 77. New 30-minute bar here now as well. 30-minute has left that old range, has never gone back to revisit that range. Let me check that low of day to the highs. Yeah, 50% will be back into 780s. So there's still a move down there possible back into that range. That's what I'd like to see. Makes sense. A trade back down to 780s makes sense in multiple ways if and when it's ready. You just can't front run it. We had that one move. I was positioned for it. They found the bid at 30s like we talked about. And now we have to wait again. Oh, man, come on. Tiring. So tiring. VIX needs to find a bid at 18 here. Watching this shelf. Nothing's changed, folks. All I'm watching is this shelf. I want to see buyers get trapped and strong selling take over. That's all I'm looking for here. Watching this shelf to see a collapse. Collapse under 50 to 30. Collapse under 30 to 800. Collapse under 800 to 770, 780. Collapse under that all the way back down to lower day. That is what I'm looking for. Back to the 50s we go. This is the edge of the shelf. So this is the edge of the range, the 30-point range. Once they let go of this, we can have some fun. Perking my interest here, watching to see if there's follow through. Sellers keep trying at these 50s. Like they are coming in here trying to force it. Here we go. Can they get the play? I'm interested if we take over here. Needs follow through. Good. Heavy delta here. If they don't get follow through and reclaim, then it squeezes on. They need 50s to stay heavy now. Yeah, they can't follow through. These guys are pathetic. They need follow through under 50. And retesting this edge. It's getting interesting. If this candle fails, I'm interested. Guys, take over the fucking market. Now is your opportunity. Step in now. Don't step in too late. Step in now. Slam my head against the fucking desk in a minute. Come on! Step in, step in, step in, step in. Come on, buddy. You've got to size up here. You've got to size up here. There's clearly a bidder on the tape here that we can't see passive. Once he goes, we should flush. There's definitely a passive bidder here. They're absorbing. Once he goes, we should flush. If he goes, he might not go. If he's got endless amounts of capital, he won't go anywhere. It's perking my interest, but they need to take control. I need to see full control here because we're still just at the edge of the range. Better, better. Follow through now. No, passive again. Just absorbing. All right, someone here. This guy here is flashing. He's absorbing. All right, we have to wait. Still an absorber on the book. Fucking hell, mate. These bears are pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And reclaim range. You guys are so shit. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I bother. I should just buy. I should just only buy regardless of all rules. I should only buy because since April, it's just proven us how terrible these bears are. Should just press buy no matter what. No matter how low we go, just buy everything. Oh, so 80 to 50. We're going to spend another half an hour here now. Initial balance at the high. I don't care about half gap, mate. It doesn't mean anything to me. That might be your trade, but I don't. It's either a gap fill or nothing. I don't care about half gaps. It's not something I play with. Well, didn't Baron Trump take out a load of puts yesterday? Probably covered them all this morning. Still sat here bored out my brain. This is the level up here. It's so key to what we do next. That's perked my interest. This is perking my interest now. What is that level? 53s. Straight back through it. There's the negative delta, 63s. Oh, guys. Yeah, I mean, it's just how it's been all year, Edward. Like, all year. I've been bullish all year. After such a big downside move overnight where we left value, I have to play short against value. It's just a basic principle. We leave volume trapped above, right? We've left Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday. 6 days of volume we've left trapped. We need to be leaving that trapped, which is why this previous week value area, we need to be short. Where's my mouse gone? In front of this, which is why if they reclaim this, not interested. Not interested because all that means at that point is all of this was bullshit and it's a look below and fail. Right, and this structure is bullish down here now. Right, but I'm just looking for a trade back into there, and if we fail there, lower. But if we reclaim this is a look below and fail, and guess what? We go back into range and probably all-time highs. But until that happens, I have to respect this. I have to be looking to fade this. You know, I think what happened is, like usual, these fucking idiots jumped in down here and got squeezed out, and now they're going to make this trade back really hard because they probably got stuck. And it's not retail, it's actually probably institutional sellers down there being idiots because you'd need size. I don't think retail was selling down there this morning, to be quite honest. And retails are the guys that are in the money this year. Actually, retail is up way more than institutions because retail bought the dip early in the year. Institutions are the most cash that they've ever been in. It's the most hated rally of all time because institutions are not positioned long. They're not positioned long right now. Okay, back to the 80s. Oh my God. I'm going to crack my head on a wall here. How have we moved 400 points overnight and we're now trapped in a 30-point range? Fuck me. The opportunity to trade is none. I mean, it's actually terrible. I got this. Are you joking? That's why I'm annoyed. That's what I've had. And I was positioned short, so that you're all aware, I was positioned short with Discord. Where were we short, guys? Was it here? Or was the move back to the 60s? It was here, wasn't it? We were positioned short here yesterday. Right here, and we were added into this move and we covered on that flush down to here. And we were looking for that collapse. But of course, they wouldn't give it to us. They had to do it overnight. And now the move's gone. So now I'm trying to play for scraps. I mean, it's annoying, guys. It's just so annoying for me. It's a pet peeve. What are you talking about, New York Open? Nothing's trading near New York Open right now. New York Open's 9:30. I don't know what you're on about. Yeah, that's not the Open. New York Open is 9:30, buddy. Midnight. Midnight's just a midnight level. It's a ICT made up level. Your New York Open's 9:30. Okay. So it feels like 9:20 is on deck now. I'll be watching initial balance now, look above and failed IB, or obviously trend if they develop trend. Again, the hard thing if you're going to play trend up above IB today is you've got that previous week value above you, and you're in supply. It is a terrible location to be looking for a trend up today. But VIX continues to drift lower. It cannot find a bid. I'm trying to be calm here, but I'm actually losing patience with this market today. I'm going to give it not very long, 15 more minutes. If it's going to continue to range like this, I'm going to get off. I'm just not going to sit here and watch absolute nonsense take place. It feels like they want 920s at this point. Yeah, exactly, Peter. I don't blame you, mate. I think you got the long up anyway, didn't you? And you were short overnight, so you got two massive plays. At least you were positioned for two really good plays. I still think this market needs to bleed, and I think it's going to come. Okay, back to 70s. So no bid above 80s yet. No closure above 80s from these bulls yet. They've tried. I'm still interested under the shelf. I'm interested under the shelf. I'm not going to play long. Or I'm interested fail breakout over the shelf maybe, but it's not really a very good play. These fucking bears are just getting themselves cooked here. Look at this guy. Look at the Bookmap. Look at this guy. You are an idiot. Why are you doing this? You're going to force the market higher. You are an idiot. You. You're all idiots. You're going to ruin the play for all of us waiting. by getting yourself stuck with thousands of lots. It's the third attempt to move out here and they haven't. This range is still building. Still interested underneath this. Nothing's changed. I'm still interested. I'm not uninterested in this. I'm interested if we leave this range. Absolutely interested if we leave the range. Again, they're trying to sell this low on this candle. Initial balance, just the first hour of trading, dude. 9:30 to 10:30, that's it. That's the only parameter. And then I'm either playing a trend cycle or a rotational cycle. Ideally today we see rotation because we're in supply. IB's been set in supply underneath of previous week value, so I wouldn't want to play trend long. I'd be looking for, ideally today you see like a failed break or just a failure of the IB for that trade down to VWAP. All right, and if they let go of that, we trade down to the IB low. I wouldn't be looking for a trend long today in here. It's too risky because you're in supply. This is a massive level where we're at. Okay, interested, take control, take control. This is H1. We've gone wick to wick. We've literally done everything I wanted to see. I want to play short, so I'm not changing my thesis. There's a short coming in this market. It's gonna test my patience. I'm gonna have to be really patient. It's coming. It's coming in this market for sure. At least for the rotation back down towards VWAP. And if we get under there, then we can have some real fun. Okay, 50's coming. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Please. No more higher lows. Just take them out. Like, we've got this trend here. Just let that go. Rotation. Underneath here. Okay, interested. Take over. Take over. Here we go. 50s. Take over. Don't you dare. Coming. It's coming. It's coming. Stop messing about. Do not let them defend this range. Now is your moment. Hourly, H1, 1 hour chart, H1, M1, 1 minute chart, H4, hourly, 4 hour chart, right? So H hourly. Oh my God. Stop defending the fucking range. Coming. Come on. Okay, interested. I might have to get a starter in here soon. Okay, starting in. I want to see flush now. Yep. Come. Yep. Let's fucking go. Give it to me now. I've been so patient. Don't you dare hold this fucking low down here. I'm sorry. I'm getting very animated this morning. I want to trade into VWAP now. I'm not going to sit through a reclaim. Any reclaim, guys, and I am out. I do not want to sit through a reclaim, especially if 60s. Probably give it till 60s. Come on. Let's let it go. In fact, I even want to add on this. Especially that delta trying to hold it up. Let's go, baby. Fuck these guys. Let's go. Come on. Where's this big seller come in? 50s. Yeah, we look good. As long as they defend 50s now, we look good. They've actually started being aggressive at 50s. As long as we defend 50s, we look good. Any reclaim of 50s, I'm not really interested in. Maybe I'll give it like 10 points, but that's basically the level. That shelf, these guys here, these bulls who've tried to force it up, I need these guys to become stuck. I'm looking for a trade back down into this area here. This here, just for IB, but ideally down into here. And if we let go of that, all the way down. All right, this is what I'm looking for today. Made that clear from the very start of today. Have to be so patient. So patient. Let's go. 30s. Come to Papa. Come to Papa. Snap it. Snap, snap, snap. Stop run these guys, please. I want a nasty move underneath this. Market is bleeding. Come, 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 come. You're almost there. You are almost there. You are almost there. Just take them out. Right on that edge. It's going to come. It's going to come. He's pulled his bid as well. This player at 800 is going to come. They're scared now. Let's go. Buyers trying to force their way in at 30s now. So buyers just stepped in 30s to 40s, caught offside. If we reject in this candle, 30s to 40s, where they're trying to step in, we will trade lower. Shorts, unfortunately, came in at the low of this candle. So just looking for those shorts to take over here and those buyers above to stay stuck. I'd want to see a rejection of 40 here. Wouldn't want to see it trade through 40 at this point, ideally. Looking for this to trade lower now and snap. 29s, we're almost there, baby. Defending that. It's very, very tight to letting go. Here's the trade back up to 40s. This is where they need to defend. If they don't, then we're going to trade 50s and 60s, which would not be ideal. Obviously, I haven't locked in much profit yet because I'm looking for a move lower. Good defender 40s there. Trap buyers again on that last move up in this candle. Let's go. We've trapped them. Go, 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 go. Water, water, waterfall, waterfall, waterfall. You've done all the hard work. Step in now. Step in now. Step in now. I don't want to cover here. I'm trying really hard not to cover here because we've got a really big trade available here. If you just step in, step on the gas. 25s, come on. Trade through this guy. Trade through this guy. You don't get your stuck. Here we go. Here we go. VWAP, please. VWAP, please. VWAP, please. Oh my God. Why so hard? VWAP, please. Watch one big flush candle. Market's bleeding. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for rewarding me for being patient. Oh my God, you made this hard for me today. Okay, so we're looking for 80s now, ideally, under VWAP. Oh, let's fucking go. You can't compete with me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Fucking patient for that. You tested my nerve today. Woo! Okay, TP1 here. Man, that tested my patience. Oh my God, that tested my patience. To read the order flow so much today because they were making it so tricky. Woo! All right, TP1 now hit. We want a continuation, all right? We must be careful here because we are on the top of this range. This is where the squeeze started. Do you remember early in the day I said we will get a squeeze above 800 and I'm looking to short that squeeze once it fails, right? Here's the squeeze above 800. It was very tricky today. They made this way harder than it needed to be. Here's the squeeze above 800. There's the 3 drives. There's the failure. There is the volume shelf. There's the look above and fail. Here is the snap. Here's the move. So this is TP1. TP2 is down here because we have some volume created down here at the beginning of the day. And if we fail that, we are going to make new lows on the day. All right. So runners for that move. This is like, when did we hit a move like this? Maybe it was yesterday, actually. It's very similar. Very similar. And Dubs in chat, if you call that with me. I'm sorry I'm so animated today, but that was, I was starting to get worried that they were not going to give me my trade here. I was starting to think, man, if these shorts have fucked up this bad today, I'm not going to get my trade. But it was all planned out beforehand. I know I've been animated and, man, I need to put a lot of money in the swear jar today. That's for sure. That is for sure. Alex, single print below the 304 ticks, is there? I didn't see that in here. 304. What price you look? You mean 804? I'm guessing. I'm guessing you mean in here. In here, on the TPO. You look good, guys. You can just hold your runners now. Just move your stop down. As long as you paid yourself here, there's a potential bleed out today. All right, I'm going to remind you, this market is really heavy. We have trap volume above. It's why, all right, I was focused on the short today. Again, I'm going to give you this, all right? This is ES, financials and healthcare. Let me just reset that in case that's now started bleeding, all right? Everything we're looking at in the Qs is heavy. We have relative weakness today. Nvidia, Microsoft, Oracle, Palantir, Tesla, Amazon, Google, everything is bleeding. I don't want to be long in that market. I do not want to be long in a market which is due a pullback. Done for the day, Dex says. Let's go. Just got your first payout. Nice, Otis. Jeff Miller, W for you. Nice. BU, got it with me. Nice. Roscoe, Jeff, Foster Scott, Moni, Tonio, Dex, Edward, Alvaro, shorted with you. Pass my evaluation. 3.3 thousand on the day. Thanks, my guy. God bless you. Welcome. Tyson with a dub. Miguel with a dub. Clint with a dub. JJ with a dub. JD with the dub. Richard with a dub. Scott, caught this with you. In with the runner. Yeah, still holding a runner for me. John Dennis with the dub. Array, NGU, Minji, Andrew, Ejecto, Foster Scott, DJ Noah, Patrick, Bart, Psychosis, Dre the Trader, Moni, Marlin, Chris, John, Rath, Calypso. Man, you all got it. I love it. Maybe I made it very clear today. It was pretty obvious what I was looking for. Come on, baby. Keep coming. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Just make sure you're paying yourself something here, folks. As long as you've paid yourself into this move, into 780s or 800s, let's fucking go, man. Man, honestly, it tested me today. All right, lower time frame algo here. All these bulls are about to understand what it is when we're in a market with trap participants, high time frame above. As long as you've covered some of your position here, we can look for a bleed out on the runners. We are due a bounce. All right, I will say we are due a bounce. If we go risk off, we're going to go knife straight down. But do not be entering short here. All right, we're extended away from where we entered. We're starting to see failure. This New York Open will now become another TP for us. This is our under over. This is the volume area in here that we're looking for. So TP2 is basically in here where we found a bounce this morning. So TP1, TP2, you could use New York Open, but really I'm not going to TP3 at New York Open. If I'm going to get this, I'm going to look for this down here. Come on. Come on. Yeah, you all got it. Look at you. You guys nailed it. Yeah, no longs today, man. Like, for me, it was no longs today. I made that very clear from the start of the day. All right, I called this squeeze out. I knew we needed to squeeze out. And all the time we protect the weekly volume shelf, we go lower. Aaron, Alex, you're amazing, bro. Daniela, pass my evals. Nice work. Order flow. You done good, mate. Great trade. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, we look good. We look good. Just trying to hold a little piece here. And I'm not against shorting pops, but I just know like the easy money has been made now. But definitely we've got everyone trapped above now. Right? Just think about the multiple time frames. Every single participant is currently trapped above us. Let me get this up. Start on a daily. All right. We've made sure these guys here into 880. Think about this level here, 880. All right. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. Everyone in here is trapped. Think about the amount of volume trapped here. There it is. All right. Where do we really want to go? Here. What was the play in the weekly newsletter? Gap fill for failures. If we have a big gap down day, we are going to come for this 20-day and shelf. All right. It's exactly what we've been looking for. All right. Once we get down here, I'll think about buying the market back up, even in the short term. And then the hourly just confirming the same thing. You can see this level on the hourly. Think about where buyers' stops were, right? Here was their stop. Here was their stop. Here was the fade. Here was the trade back up to it. Here's TP1. Here's continuation. All right, everything planned pre-market, as always. As always. This is why I stick to like, oh, didn't mean to do that. There we go. This is why I stick to my guns, all right? Stick to what I'm looking at. I don't play both sides. I just play what's in front of me. I'm just hot, honestly. I'm hot because I got animated today. I got annoyed. You saw me annoyed. It wasn't tilt. It was more frustration that I didn't think they were going to give me the trade. I thought they were just going to get to the point where I was like, if they take 920, I can't be short and I can't be long, and then I have to sit out. And then I feel like they took 2 sessions away from me. Well, 3, Asia, London, and New York. But fortunately, they didn't. Stefan, 6K up, done for the day. Nice work, mate. Big John, amazing, bro. Great call, I'm out. Nice work. Nice work, everyone. What we should expect now? Well, we're just trading from value area low now. So we've traded value area high, value area low. We've come back into this shelf. I'll be looking for continuation down all the time. We're fading 830s, right? So maybe a squeeze up and see if they get stuck. Maybe even VWAP here. And we'll think about that move down. Right, but all depends. Like, I want to lean on this short side until it reclaims. If we reclaim this range up here, I'm not interested in any further shorts today. All right, they have to keep all these participants out of the market. Right, if all those bulls get let out of their stops, basically, man, that's a big squeeze. If they all get let out, then this market can move higher. All right, so this market can. If it reclaims, what am I trying to say? If it reclaims 850, all right, then it goes 880, 920. All the time we're under 850 now, every time frame is stuck. And I would try and play for lower prices. Right, let's see. I'm interested in lower. I'm still interested in lower. I'm interested in adds and lower on squeezes on the backside. Just trapped bulls on that last play. On that last squeeze up, they just trapped bulls above 15s. So I really don't mind if we come all the way up. If I'm going to add. If we let go VWAP here, we're going to trade lower. So let's just see. Maybe a 2-leg and then backside. Maybe a 2-leg and then backside. Don't really want it to visit this high. We can think about a fib of this last move. Right, somewhere in here, it's fine. 30s, I'd consider a new position here. Right here, and I'd consider this. Any reclaim of this, no plays at all for me. Because that will then use this volume for highs. We don't want to see that. I think this was last week. I think something similar like this last week. Was it? Can anyone remember? I remember BU, you got it. We had this shelf up here. We broke down, and then we had this move and broke down, and then we had a Trump news candle, which did this. Can you remember what day it was? It's very, very similar. It's the same setup. It's exactly the same setup. Still looking for lower prices. We're rejecting flow zones here. Back to VWAP. If we trade under here, I'm looking for lower prices. Exactly the same. Exactly the same setup. The only difference this time is we've got weekly traders trapped above. Really good here, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Looking to add on pops here or lower. Just rejected VWAPs. A little move into here, into this volume. I'm looking for lower here. So move my core position now down a bit and looking for lower prices. Market's in trouble. Market's in trouble. Here we go. See if we can get some follow through. Beautiful. Need a new low day here. I did, well, new low day, new low on this swing point. We look good. Here's the walk down. This is what we're looking for. New York Open again. Here, if you haven't taken TP, it's TP. Otherwise, New York Open and then initial balance low. I want to see if we can get all the way down into there, ideally. There is a shelf here. You must be paying yourself into this level like we talked about. Doesn't matter if H1, H4 swept lows. What do you mean? Where have your H1 and H4 swept lows? I mean, what lows? What's the structure? Structure is bearish. So, you know, all I see is this market's trying to move lower right now. That's all I see. We've trapped volume. We've got a gap to fill. We've got structure to come back into the 500s. I don't really care other than that. Like, this move down to here was probable. If they want to hold this on the H1 and reclaim this, then yeah, we're going to get a second leg higher and maybe go back into value. But all the time we're protecting this, I'm looking for lower plays. Bears are in control now. Bears, like, they almost weren't in control, but once we broke at 850, we protected 880 and we broke 850, bears became in control. $570 would be really nice. VIX finding a bid. Looking for VIX to do this inverse head and shoulder around the 820s. And the neckline break on VIX would be 1840s. If it does that and trades back through that 1850 level and we get back to New York Open, it would really help this market go risk off. Oh, I just got OBS disconnected. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Re-entry. We just had re-entry, right? Re-entry. Here's your flow zones. Here's the low vol. There's the push above. There's the VWAP fail. I just added there. I was saying I'm going to add if we fail under VWAP. So I've moved my core position down. Right, so need it to protect this. If they don't protect this and we do a second leg, I'll be out and I can always take a new position. But yeah, this here, saying to me it wants to go lower. It's all good, dude. No worries. Yeah, when I say I'm looking to add on pops or I'm looking to add on a failure back under VWAP, that's me telling you, like, I'm going to get short. Look at the flow zones. Like, my flow zones are protecting price right now. Right, we've moved into a pro bearish move. Right, lower time frame and higher time frame. The moment we get below this blue, I know it keeps going between this and this, but the moment we get below this blue, the higher time frame is going to go into a sell. You see, this is your lower time frame algorithm. We're trying to trade below that lower time frame algorithm right now. Don't want to see a reclaim of you up here. Some covering. Definitely seeing some covering here. Right, I'm going to use the bathroom. Let me put some fishing orders out just in case. Let's put some at down here just in case. All right, I'll be right back here, folks. right, still looks really good. Still looks really good. Just watch. We're at that opening range right now. Basically, 770 is your orb. So failure back inside of 770. We're watching 740, the New York Open, previous week low, 700s. Yeah, we just see. I think we have the ability to move to new lows today. We really do. If they just take over, VIX is starting to look pretty good here. Remember, I'm looking for VIX to do that inverted head and shoulder kind of move. All right here you can see it. It's trying to build out. We found a bid. Right, there's the trap. This is our first high low. I want VIX to break above this and come back into this, and that will help the market. You know, if we do that, then ES goes risk off, and then NQ probably follows with it. So it will look good here on the VIX. Everything's like shaping up for us to move lower. Remember, this is just our first bounce, right? So let's go over today. Bid off volume, squeeze through 880s, into volume shelf, volume trapped above, failure, back down to where we had volume. First bounce, short opportunity. Now we need continuation to lows. All right, first bounce, short opportunity, continuation to lows. Failing to break here will allow them to trade back upside. So I don't want to get trapped here. Okay, so we need to see a breakdown under here, back towards lows. So you should have paid yourself, right? So we're short from 50 break, add into this flush, covered some, added some, looking for breakdowns now. All right, make it really simple for you guys. Right, think about the market, how we've moved today. It's a typical model, to be honest. That would be ideal, but we don't have to do that. Right, buy side of the curve, trap, sell side of the curve, right? And that battle took place for a long time when you think about it. Basically 10 a.m. 45 minutes we had to sit in a 30-point range. All right, look above, look below, look above, look below, fail. It took a long time to play out. I was losing my patience. Here we go, folks. Here we go, folks. Here we go, folks. Need a new low here. Trading right at that orb, looking for a new low here. Really good, really good. Really good. Come the fuck on. Come on, team. So down to one now. I can try and show you my core position. So just my last one on, which I added back in here. All right, so just looking to trade that back down to the lows now, if possible. All right, so taking most of my profits now. Just that last one, which I added on that push above VWAP. That's my last one left. That is my last one left. Can I give you an invite to the Discord room? Well, Discord's only if you do the course, mate. That's not me being an arse. It's just so that everyone trades in the same way. So if you've bought the course, there's an email at the end of the course. Shoot me an email there. I'll check that you've done the course, and then you can come in the Discord room for free. But it's only for course members. The reason being, just I need everyone to be trading the same way. They need to be looking at the same setups so that they can support each other. So that when I talk, they understand what I'm talking about. So if some of the other mentors speak up, they understand. So they can trade together and support each other. We're a very warm, welcoming room. We look after each other in there. And it's all right, no worries, Handy Home. But like, yeah, the course, just so you know, there's zero pressure to do it. The course is a one-time fee. So 649, I think it's 10% off with code FCT. You get the course, you get the indicator, and you get Discord. One-time fee, no messing about. Okay, can we get a drift lower here? We are right into that volume shelf. I think there's a chance to go 720s minimum here. So that opening 30-minute bar, we're basically trading its value area high here into 770s. If we fail that, I think we can trade into 720s. I'm just like measuring out that opening 30 minutes. So point of control on that opening 30 minutes is 720s. from 8:30. Sorry, I'm talking about pre-market. Why have you changed? Let's move you. What a nightmare. -5. Where's New York? There we go. Nothing planned at the moment, Alvaro. In fact, prices are going up next year because there's a new course being launched with it as well. So anyone who's a current member will get discounts of the advanced futures trading course, which will be made mainly on order flow and traps, because it's what I mainly trade. So once you move past this, you get to see how I trade. All right, still protecting that opening range. So no follow through yet. I'm still holding that one runner. And I would say there's a bit of delta at that low there we will need to be careful about. Right here, all right, there's a little bit of delta down there at the low. We're not finding acceptance to expand this range yet. Hopefully we do find acceptance, but either way, we're locking in good money today, all right? Either way. Here we go. Come on, get through that low. Let that seller out. Since that last move, I wouldn't want to be short in here right now. Right, even if it bleeds here, your opportunity, all right, if we think about it, your opportunity was, it keeps cutting out on OBS. Have I got computer issues here? Is that why I'm having issues? All right, your opportunity was that 850 break, and then it was that move into here. You don't really want to start shorting here. Just let it bleed now. Manage your runner now. If we build new structure, fantastic. Still looking good. I'm still holding that position. Watching this opening range, 70s. Like I said, I think there is a move down here. 725, I'm really interested in if we can get down there. Where's previous week low? 700s. Let's see if we get acceptance under that. Tyson, I'm done. Huge day. Thanks, Alex. Amazing stuff. You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's let go of this. We get thin under here. You can see it gets thinner under here. I want to trade down into this pocket, if possible. VIX still looking good. It's building for that inverse head and shoulder we talked about on the VIX. Building for it. Make sure you're managing your positions properly here, please. I don't know if it was easy, Contorted. I think you joined a bit late. I was getting very frustrated with it. At one point, I thought that I was only going to get 20 points out of it for the whole day. I was like, oh my God, have I fluffed this or what? Is it not going to get me what I'm looking for? But fortunately, it played out. Be very careful if they squeeze up here to 22s. I'm not really willing for this to come on a big old squeeze up. Apple's found a bid, all right? Apple, relative strength in Apple, 30% up. That is really, really, really good to see for long-term positions. It's about to take out all-time highs at the 270. So Apple feeling very, very good here that it's holding on. Rest of the market in an absolute bleed out. AMD obviously has earnings tonight. I've sold 80+% of my core position on AMD again on that squeeze towards 270s. Remember, I did buy AMD at 158, so I made $110 a share there on Commons for sitting in it for 2 or 3 months. But I think we are overextended. The fact that they're selling the news now, they're selling earnings even if it's good, it's got a double gap to fill. I don't want to give back $70-$80 a share, so I sold and I'll reload on flushes. Still look good here. Come on. Come on, come on. Still just managing this one position. Just one guy on from my average size now. Sorry, my average position now is at 807. So just above VWAP. And looking to trade lower. Looks good. Big seller coming in here. Just need to break these lows and we'll wash. Here we go. Let's go. Break these lows and we'll wash. Here they come. Big seller joining the tape. It's a battle here. Once we snap this, there's a move. They need to snap this though. $76 is key. That's where they just sold on the last push down. So 76s, we've got like 200 on the delta sat there. So as long as we reject 76s, here we go. If we reject 76s, we can trade lower here, I think, on this next push up. So watching, see if they reject 76s for a move lower. Don't want to see them really trade through 76s. Any chance I'm related to Russ? Who's Russ? I don't know who Russ is. Here we go. Nice rejection in front of 76s. New lows coming. Come on. The bidder down there at 50 lot. We should trade through him. They're trying to save it. I think we're going to trade through him. They can't save this much longer. I think we're just about to snap them out. Come on. One more attempt at 76s maybe. So again, buyers came in there at 68 to 70 and they got caught again. I think we're going to trade lower here. I'm still managing this position. It still feels good. I still think we're trading lower. Nothing to indicate to me on the order flow that we're going to trade higher anytime soon. As long as we're staying heavy at 76s. They had a good attempt in that last candle and they failed. I think we trade lower still. New lows. Here we go. There's your New York Open. There is your New York Open. Absolutely beautiful. If we trade under New York low open, then we're going to look for previous week low into 700s. So 720s. Let's go, baby. Really good move here. So cover point there if you want it at New York Open. I'm still just managing this position, looking for moves back down to low of day. Oh my gosh, what an absolute beauty. What a beauty. Here we go. New York Open test. If we test this down into this pocket, and if we break that, new lows. We still have that giant New Week opening gap underneath us if we really want to do it. These likes better be high today, folks. This is good trading. It's patient. I was animated, but I was very patient waiting for that 50 break. Well, yeah, it took us 2 attempts at it. Okay, little bid off New York here. Want to see if there's follow through. If there's no follow through, I will cut this position because they are trying to bid off that New York. Want to see follow through under it. Don't want to see a reclaim of 70s now, that opening range. Want to see it follow through underneath New York Open. Otherwise, I'm going to be out. Can always get back in. It's another good move. Even here, we're up over 50 points on this runner. I want to see a rejection here at 70s on this volume, just right here and here. 74s maybe, but ideally here. Jazu, Alex, amazing. So question, so I can learn. What did you see to take the short? Okay, can do that. Let me just move my stop in so I can manage it while I teach you on this screen. Where's my mouse? Okay, so let's just go from top down because it's going to make it easier. All right, daily, we had a balance range, all right, from last week, and most of that range was in here. Look above and fail. Here's the top Bollinger. We don't long at the top Bollinger, do we? We never long at the top Bollinger. We expect mean reversion to 20-day once we fail that top Bollinger, all right? And we have a gap down here calling for the market. So once we gap down today, if we just think about this really simply, if we go from like Monday last week into today, where is all the volume? All right, so that's a profile based on Monday last week to Tuesday. Okay, you can see we have a nice D-shaped profile here. There is the volume, right? The volume is trapped in here. Who is now trapped here? Right? What volume is trapped? It's buyers, right? Buyers are trapped because if you're a seller up there, you're not trapped, right? So narrative today was very simple. Buyers are trapped. I'm looking to trade lower. Simple as that. Buyers are trapped. I'm looking to trade lower. What I'm not looking to do is enter a short at the lows. I'm looking for buyers to, in this market this morning, to think, oh, we're going to squeeze. This is just nothing and we're going to squeeze out. I'm looking for them to step in and then their pain become my liquidity to trade lower. So that's my first thesis, okay? We go from there to an hourly. Right, just follow me here. This is the hourly chart, right? What did we talk about yesterday? Higher lows, lower highs, liquidity build. Someone's going to get hurt, right? We talked about this yesterday. So someone's going to get hurt. What happens? The bulls in here get hurt. We move outside of it. So let's just review what we've now traded outside of. We have the whole previous week volume left up there. And if you go to previous day value, which is a bit harder to see here, but Monday's volume was left here. All right. So anyone who is bullish on Monday is waking up down here going, oh my fucking God, what's happened to my portfolio? Anyone who's bullish the whole week before is waking up going, oh my fucking God, what's happened to my portfolio? Right? They're instantly like, fuck, the top is in, I'm fucked. That's what's going through their head. Whether it's in or not is a whole different thing. But the psychology is they're trapped in the market. All right? That's the psychology. So what are we looking for? We're looking to use their pain points. All right? So where are those buyers stopped? Where can they get out least in the pain? Well, if you were a buyer and your stop was here, right? Imagine you're a swing buyer and your stop was here and you wake up here. You don't want to cover the position down there, do you? Because that's max pain. But if you can get out near break even, near your stop, because remember, the market is trading cash. Cash is not open overnight, right? Most of the market is trading cash. So they're going to get out as close to break even in their cash as possible, which means this red box was supply. So what was my thesis this morning? We go to this 5-minute chart here. I'm looking for a squeeze higher to short into all the time. We're protecting previous week value. All right. So where does that squeeze higher come? If you were a bull this morning, where is the obvious? Remember, 90% or 95% of traders lose. What trade do they take? Breakout trade. That's their trade. They take a breakout trade. Where do you think they entered? All right. So that level there is a breakout long. Who else enters market long in that position? Shorts who got involved at the lows. All right. So in this area here, you have shorts covering and you have a breakout long, which means what's going to happen here? That is where we're going to get the squeeze. This squeeze is what I'm looking for to get short into when it's exhausted. Where's it going to become exhausted? Where the higher time frame sellers and higher time frame bulls are trapped. This area here, this huge volume area. So we have to wait. All right, like we talked about, we're going to wait. I talked all morning, 800 squeeze, and then I'm interested in the short once it's finished squeezing. Here's your 800 squeeze. All right, into big area of supply, and then we go sideways. Now we're going to go lower time frame once we get into there. Lower time frame. Once we get up there, all right, what do we see? Volume built out here, right? So what happens? Look below and fail. I was shorting this because I wanted to short any failures back down. Remember, because this is very thin on the move up, right? Thin on the move up. So I was short on this for, sorry guys, let me just move my stop down a little bit because we just tabbed New York again. All right, just be careful here. If they keep bidding on New York, you might get a squeeze back up before we come back down for it. So in fact, let me just take this off. I won't be greedy while I just teach you. There we go. Okay, so lower time frame, sorry. So we had one attempt here for the 850 break. All right, and I said cover into 30s. Why 30s? Because if we look left, all right, there was some volume here and here, right? So we know that was a high volume node that they might hold. All right, we trade back inside the range. Again, I'm not bullish. I'm not buying a bearish day into supply. No chance are you going to catch me doing that because I know who's stuck. So what do we wait for? We have to just wait and wait and wait and wait and wait for it to set up. So drive 1, drive 2, drive 3. Where did I say bulls were stuck? In this move here at 880. In here, you had volume trapped at the highs. I was watching it on Bookmap and the footprint. We did the same thing here. Look at this delta. Buyers stepped in at the highs again. And here, buyers stepped in at the highs again. When that big volume of buyers stepped in at 880, were they able to get us to 920 like they should have? No. If you're going to see big volume step in, all right, their idea is to get up here. They couldn't complete the move, which means what? Okay, now we've got buyers trapped at the highs. We know their stop is around 850. We can see the volume here. So the moment we start breaking down here and I see aggressive selling, think about it. We flip from buy side delta to sell side delta. And the moment the selling stepped in here, I'm short and I'm adding and I'm adding and I'm covering into my targets. And we're going to go lower now by the looks of it. I've taken it off so I can teach. All right, so that's what I saw. If we go over this in Bookmap, and this is basically what we're going to do in the advanced course, but in more detail. All right, let's go back to these highs into 880. Okay, look at this up here. A 347 lot at 880. 24 above him, 80 above him, 11 above him, 14, 14, 14. So let's just call it 400 lot there at 880. Did we move higher? No, we moved lower. What happened next time we came up there? 137 lot, 208 lot, 157 lot, 30 lot, 23 lot. Did we move higher? No, we moved back lower again, okay? This is telling me buyers are getting exhausted. What it's saying is in this area here, we have a passive seller on the book, all right? This area here, these are market orders. The bubbles are market orders buys. All right. If we can't move higher, then what we have is a limit order passive selling into it. So they had 2 attempts. The third attempt, they come in flying in through the 60s. 323 lot, 100 lot, 92 lot, 29 lot, 58 lot. Did we move higher? No, we failed it again. And then what happens? Well, now we've got 3 drives full of massive buy volume at the highs who failed. And what happens? They start liquidating. They go from buyers to sellers. 330 lot on the sell, and you'll see it just gets aggressive. 166 lot, 28 lot. So the moment we failed 50, look what happens. They stop out. 330, 166, 288. Right? They sell until we get very thin down here. Here's our cover point. What happens here? They try and bid it back up. Do we move higher? 448 lot. 200 lot, do we move higher? No, we sell back down again, okay? And now, this is the problem now. Now you have strong selling at the lows. So the opposite of what we saw at the highs. This is why we don't sell the lows. And we can afford a drift to come and test this and even this if it really wants now. Right, does that make sense? That is about as accurate as I can go, I think. You can only see half of it. I'm sorry. Can you see it more now? Yeah, can you see this now? These huge buyers up here. It doesn't matter whether you have Bookmap or that you use the level 2, or if you use like DOM on your trading view, or if you use footprint chart. It doesn't matter what you use. That's what you're looking for. Look, the way Alex trades is very simple. He's looking for trapped traders. That is the flow zone method, basically. Unless we're in trend, right? And even then, we're looking for trapped traders. We are looking for trapped traders because that's how the market moves. It's an auction, right? So just think about, what was the example I did in order flow on volume profile? I think I talked about a Rolex Daytona because I wanted to buy a Rolex Daytona. All right, so let's imagine down here, right, the price for a Daytona, we're going to ignore these numbers. Down here, the price for a Rolex Daytona, let's say it's 10K. Well, everyone knows for a Daytona, that's cheap. Oh, yeah, I'm going to buy that Daytona. I'm going to buy that Daytona. I'm going to buy that Daytona. Well, let's say up here, the price for a Daytona is 100K. And they're like, I'm not going to buy that Daytona. Like anyone who's sensible is like, fuck no, I'm not buying that for 100k when I could have bought it for 10k an hour ago. All right, but some guys think, well, I'm going to buy it for 100k because look how big that move is. We might be at 200k in an hour. That's the psychology. Oh, we're going to be at 200k for a Daytona in an hour, right? So they come flying in at the top, right? And the sellers go, who bought down here, go, well, I'm going to sell you my Daytona for 100k. I'll buy it back for 10k in an hour's time, right? But up here, right, you don't have the same amount of buying as you did down here, do you? Because most people do become sensible at some point. So you see exhaustion. When I talked about exhaustion this morning, that's what I'm talking about. You see buyers be like, there's no more buying, right? Big buying volume down here. There's no more buying. They get exhaustion. So then what happens? We go into a fair market actually for about 45 minutes, right? This is probably a bit of a fair market, okay? So we come down to, let's call it 70k for a Daytona, 100k, 70k, 100k, because buyers still think, well, I can buy it for 70 and sell it for 100, and I can buy it for 80 and sell it for 100. But then at this point, they're like, well, there's no more buyers, and sellers are keep trying to sell in, but no, there's no more buyers to come up to them. So what happens? Well, sellers are going to have to offer lower prices, right? Because this is your bid, this is your offer. They offer lower prices. Well, I'll sell it 60. Yeah, I'll buy it 60. Or I'll sell it 80. I'll sell it 60. I'll sell it 50. And suddenly the buyers go, fucking hell, this feels like a bit of an imbalance. What if it's going to be 10 grand again in a minute for that Daytona? Well, guess what? It was. Boom. Right? And the sellers flood the market. Sell, 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 sell. All the buyers up here who bought for 100k are like, oh my God, get out now and buy it back cheaper. Right? That is an auction. Right? It doesn't matter what the product is. That's how we auction. That's all that happened. So who's trapped? Who got trapped this morning was sellers who were dumb enough to sell their Daytona for 10k this morning, and buyers who were dumb enough to buy it for 100k. Does that make sense? It's like the best way I can explain it, I think. Yeah, but I basically just gave you a free course. No, like not in a huge amount of detail, but everything I just taught you in that 5 minutes or whatever is how the market moves. It's an auction. It's why you will see me. How can I put this? Personally, I don't like trading in fair value. If we equate to that of what does that mean? What is fair value? I don't like trading when the market is deciding a price. All right, I don't like, I've covered now down here, because now the market's deciding a price. All right, and it might be like, well, let's just explore to see if anyone buyer wants to buy up here. And if they buy up here and a seller go flood the market again, the sellers up here go, well, I'm going to sell here. I'm not selling down here. I'm going to sell up here. So they bought it. Let's imagine this. You bought the Rolex Daytona for 100 grand, for 10 grand. Maybe you bought 10 of them and you sold 8 of them up here. So you made big profit. Well, you're not going to sell them back down here near your break-even point. So what you want is you hope that they do price exploration back up, and then you're going to sell your last Daytona for 60k, right? And some mug is going to buy it for that, right? When they could have just bought it down here. And then we're going to trade lower. I like trading pain points. Okay, I like trading pain points. Now, everything you have on here is basically rolling fibs. What are the flow zones? They're rolling fibs, right? This is showing you dynamic support in the market, all right? That was probably a great buy this morning, but like I said, my thesis was I was going to wait for exhaustion today. Then we trade with the flow zones lower. Maybe we can, I still think we move lower here. This is going to be redistribution in my mind to go lower, but I'm out of position now. But yeah, I like trading people's pain points. It's the easiest trades come when people are pain. The same thing this morning. Remember we talked about the 800 break will be a squeeze trigger. If you go back and rewind. Why? All right. Fair value, auction lower, buy step in. Fair value, auction lower, buy step in. All right. What happens here? Well, this is exuberance. This is where buyers go, we're definitely going higher. And this is where buyers who bought down here have the opportunity to sell high now. and you get exuberant stepping in here, and you get sellers here getting stopped out the market. This is your market buy. Right? That's it. It's just pain. It's pain points in the market. I'm not clipping that. No chance. Giving people too much free education, Andrew. You get it if you turn up to the stream. I'm not going to put that out for other people when I get thousands of views for free. No chance. So if you were here for it, you got the free lesson. Otherwise, no. Alex is the Ibrahimovic of order flow. I love a bit of Iba, especially back in the day. What a beast. The way you see and explain things is priceless. So much value in what you just showed. Thank you. You're welcome. Alex, how do you recognize a trend day versus tracked reversals and expectations, did you say? Expectations. Okay, so there's a few ways of recognizing trend days, and it really depends on your definition for a trend day. My definition for a trend day is a pro trend. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is when all the time frames are trying to move in the same direction. That's why I wanted to focus short today. Because, again, if we start in the monthly chart, right? By the way, I mean, newsletter pointed it out. How many months have we gone up now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's the record for going up in the market? 7. Have we ever gone up 8 months in a row? No. There's your data straight away, all right? It's very unlikely we close green in this market. So market has started to move into a sell below the previous month close, all right? And we've got room to go down. So monthly, possibly, even though the trend is up, possibly wants to make a pullback. Weekly, possibly wants to make a pullback underneath previous week close. Daily, has now tracked buyers above it, possibly wants to make a pullback. Now, arguably, well, not even arguably, this is counter trend, right? It is a counter trend move on the higher time frames, but we are trading intraday. So if we expect the daily, the weekly, monthly to move down, we better be playing short, because if we're playing long in the higher time frame moving lower, we're going to get really hurt. You don't want to be long here, lower time frame, if the weekly, monthly, daily wants to come down to here, do you? You want to let them settle out, go sideways, get above, below, and then we trade long back up. All right, so that's your first thing, is the higher time frame narrative. Now, beyond that, what can you look at for trend days? Very simple. Initial balance, for me, is a really good indication of a trend day. All right, currently, we are just trading inside of the initial balance. All right, so we're in a rotational market. Once we get outside of this initial balance, all right, it is probable we trend lower at that point. All right, but we're taking our time to do it. We've only got 15 minutes left to lunch, but we failed the IB. This is a rotational market for now. A trend day might well be setting up. Imagine, picture this, whether they do it today or tomorrow. Here's your short squeeze. Make sure I'm on the right chart. They actually look above and fail into supply, and we come 1, 2. What happens here? 2-leg pullback, failure. What's this? Trend lower. Let's zoom out. What are we now in? Pro trend. All right, because here's our pivot high. High, lower low, lower high, equal low, lower high, lower low, lower high. What do we expect? Trend down. All right, that is your pro trend. That's why we're playing short. And under IB, whether it's today or tomorrow, we will get that move lower. Record it all you want, but please don't post it on on social anywhere. Does that help, Roscoe? You notice how I've become uninterested now while we just check value. And look at the volume that we're starting to build up. So we left buyers trapped here, and we're starting to build volume up here now. Okay, and if they want to trade into here, they can trade into here. And if they want to stop run these guys and then trap buyers and then move lower, they can. If they want to come all the way back and retest, they can. They can do whatever they want. The low-hanging fruit was probably into these levels here, right, into the New York Open. Once we make our low-hanging fruit, we stop. Alex, after I pay myself, I'm buying the course. Yeah, you're welcome. Welcome to, dude. But honestly, there's no pressure to buy it for anyone. But look, I'm not a hard sell guy. That's just not how I do it. Will be launching another course. Like, you learn everything you're learning here in the course, but maybe less order flow. I am going to do like a futures one, because the first course I did, while it was for futures, was also for all markets. Order flow is better used for centralized markets, because even though it will work on things like stocks, you have so many different exchanges trading stocks. So when you're looking at the level 2, you're not going to get all the data, and you're going to get dark pools, and it's a bit harder. But for centralized exchanges like Qs or Gold or CME and COMEX exchanges, it's all there. Yeah. Black Widow. Yeah, it's on demand, mate. 20 hours on demand. You can watch it as many times as you want. It's all there. And I also do free lessons in Discord. So every now and again, we do like a 2 or 3 hour lesson altogether, and that gets recorded as well. But yeah, don't look, if you're broke, like, don't do the course. There's nothing like, yes, invest in yourself, but like, what am I trying to say here? The best thing to do is invest in yourself to learn in anything in life. The worst thing to do is get yourself in financial distress, because especially with trading, because if you're in financial distress with trading, every trade is going to mean too much for you. Okay, so you've got to like slowly build up in trading. Like, we're still rejecting VWAP here. There's a good rejection there, really good rejection for a lower price. Again, I'm not in now. Let me have a look. I've stopped watching the order flow the last 10 minutes. Yeah, we're going to trade lower here. What is that delta at the low? Who's stuck down there? So we do have some sellers stuck under sort of 60 right now, 60 down to 50. Once we trade through that, it's game over for these bulls. Black Widow, when we finish the course. Yes, sorry, just catching up here. I'm halfway through it. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Normally, I'm a bit calmer, but I was getting concerned this morning. Not like tilt because I didn't have a position on, but that's why I was getting annoyed. All right, I was getting annoyed because I was starting to think, right, if these short sellers here and here got stuck, and we traded, if we got back above here, all right, if we did this move and we based, then we traded up. And then that means Alex had no trade for the whole day. He got like a 20-point scalp, and I would have been very upset. So that's why I was getting annoyed. I was like, man, because the only way we move up there is if shorts get stuck. That's the only way. And it started to look like it might happen. But thank God there were enough people like me that understood what was going on, and we got that breakdown. Still looks lower here. It looks really good for lower here. Back to that New York Open. You look so good for lower here, folks. You really do. If you're still holding, you look good for low of day. It's the moment you fail this volume here, you look good for low of day. Vic's still trying to do that breakout. It had a go, pulled back. Still trying to shape for it. It is still trying to shape for it. Where is that low? Do we have much excess down there? Remember yesterday as well, I said we're making new low, whether it's today or tomorrow, because there was no excess on the low. Well, they did it overnight. They did it overnight. Apple, man, incredible strength. Woo! Look at that, from that price upgrade. Still long that from 202. What a trade that was. I don't know, I'm not sure what my trade of the year is, whether it's Apple at 202 or AMD at 158 in here. Or maybe it's got to be open, right? Open at 198. That's trade of the year, I think. 198. I think this is my trade of the year, just in terms of percentage games. And in after hours, we actually got to sell higher. Beautiful. I think that's trade of the year. Coop, what did the best for you in options? Because I know you were playing the options with these, whereas I was just playing these because you would have had time decay and stuff. You did well selling PTR Palantir yesterday before it as well. Well done, mate. Just as well, eh? 10 minutes to lunch. I'll sit with you until lunch if we're going to keep bleeding. It'll be fun. Yeah. Back to this New York Open. If we snap here, we're coming lower day, honestly. Like, you can watch this first 5-minute interval here. Where did I say that 30-minute POC was? Okay, there's a little congestion, sort of 720-ish through that lows. So if you're still in this, 720 is here and 720 is your key. And then previous week low 700. Under that, remember, weekly traders are out of money and we trade lower day. Looks really good. Looks really good. Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Adam. Yeah, I'll watch that. Cheers, mate. I would have forgot. Alex, the pullback sell signal on the flow zone indicator came the same time as a 2-leg pullback. You traded on the stream. Thanks for the profitable day. Yeah, it would have, because we got just above. It's the trap play, right? This one. That would be the pullback signal. I've turned them off just because it's like can be overload, but it would be here. There you go, pullback sell. Because we got through, it was the trap. We got through, we rejected the deep pullback, and then we failed back under Momo. All right, so it's trigger here, covers here, and then here now. So if you're in that, it's cover here, 720, low of day, and runners below. I like when the course was half that before people keep telling you to raise it. I mean, it's not even people keep. It is a business, and I need people who are serious as well. And more, you've got to remember, the longer the course goes, the more and more modules get added on, the more stuff you get for free, the more the price goes up. It's just how it is. Sorry, mate. Okay, previous week open coming up here into 722. Remember, I talked about these sort of point of controls on. This is an area here into 720s for sure. Contorted 721 profit today. Passed my TPT exam. I'm out onto my first pro account. Hey, nice, dude. So just take that pro account slow, get above the 2000 buffer, and then you are away. Alex, thanks. Can you show how you read tuck buy sell using delta volume chart? Tuck buy? I'm not sure what you mean. Is the paid course the same as what you give away? No, it's not. It's not. Oh, stuck. I think we just went over all of that. And what is his team we're putting out? Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Nkapi, Rice, Nogard, Noari, Saka, Trossard. We've got a few injuries, haven't we, Adam? Need to get some of these guys off the injury list. A bit worrying. Yeah, I know. I see like loads of them injured. Willa Williams, of course, is dirt cheap. Yeah, I think for value that you get, But I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big seller, but like when you see these no names influencers teaching you bullshit for $5,000 for a mentorship because they're driving their Lamborghini because they've got thousands of you paying $5,000 and they've clearly lost non-stop on stream for the last few weeks, then you know you can pay $5,000 to learn some bullshit, or you can pay $600 to learn how to actually trade and read price action. It's up to you, I guess, is the way of putting it. But again, like if you don't like how I teach, there's loads of other mentors. There's loads of ways to trade. Just don't spend thousands and thousands and thousands because a guy's living in Miami driving a flash car. The chances of him being good are very, very small. Like I don't know all the best courses out there anymore. I'm out the market. Like I'm only really actively trading futures. But if you do my course, the beginner to advanced course, you'll be able to trade any asset. But if you want to learn small caps, then no, maybe do something like Tim Grattini or Investors Underground or something like that. If you want to learn options, I don't know what to tell you. I've never traded options properly, but I'm sure there's some great courses out there for options. Like it's horses for courses. You've got to find, first of all, you've got to find a course that's good and good value that's not going to get you trapped in the market. Second of all, you've got to find an educator who you understand. Definitely not Garbs. No. Definitely not. That is, yeah, learn how to become Ross's liquidity. I mean, when we used to trade small caps, we used to have a private Discord where we would pay a joint fee together and we were in Ross's room and we would take the opposite side of the trade to him. And I'm not joking. We genuinely have that. Here you go. Still trading lower here. Here's the New York Open again. I think we're going to drift here. Honestly, I think we're going to drift lows. Apple's starting to pull back a bit. Right at that New York Open. This is your key over under. We've just rejected that volume again. So it's had another attempt to trade back into value or value being built on the day it's rejecting. If we fail New York, we are going to trade low of day today. Right, that is what I'm convinced of. We are trying to move down to here. We know that there's some demand down here. But once we fail these 720s, we're going to come right down into this. I would not want to be a buyer in this market. I said it yesterday, said the same thing today. If we just look at the breadth again, I haven't been back to it since, but I bet it's looking awful. Here we go. Here we go. Previous week open coming up here. So protecting 720s, failing that. We go previous week low, 700s, failing that. We go low of day. Remember, target for the day or for the week, really, if you go out the newsletter, was 500s. We take control. Sellers can seriously take control if we start getting aggressive underneath those 500s. This was all in the weekly newsletter. What was I doing? FinViz. Yes. So again, right, here is your market right now. Again, if we think about the cues, what's heavy? The cues are heavy. Communications, consumers, tech, heavy. Right? Other than Apple. Don't worry about financials and healthcare. They're not in the queues. You need to worry about these up here, and they are red. So I'm not buying against that. I'm not buying a weekday. I think we trade lower and lower and lower and lower. Anyone still in this? Are any of you still holding it? When's Black Friday, Moni? I can do something for Black Friday, I guess. When is it? Nice, you're in it, John. Yeah. Still looks good for lower. Honestly, all the time we're rejecting you look good for lower. Nice, Roscoe. All right, can you excuse me for a minute while I use the bathroom? We're coming up to lunch. I'll stay with you for a couple more minutes and we'll see what we get. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, still rejecting. Still lower lows, lower highs. You still look good. How many likes have we got? Let me get this up. Are we at I just have to do a course giveaway today. I'm not sure. I've got enough Apex codes, but I can get some more. $100 likes. Oh my god. We hit like 120 point trade, and that's all I'm worth. And it's going to be runners for bleed. He's worth 100 likes. Yeah, the next 3 weeks, Aaron. It will be gone in 3 weeks' time. Looks heavy, man. This is previous week open here. Just don't want to get trapped at the lows if you're... this is a 720 mark. Remember, we said it gets congested right where we are now. 26 down to 17. There's some sort of pre-market point controls on 30 minutes. Fail that lower day. Simple as that. Thanks, Aaron. Very kind of you. That's my coffee today. Will Fund and Tix or TPT give you any giveaways? I haven't been given any. I can ask. Maybe when the stream grows, people go and watch. I'm not going to say their names. People go and watch people with thousands and thousands of viewers show you how to gamble into the market. I'm going to short pops and buy these dips. That guy, how to get wrecked. But thousands of people watch him, so he gets given loads more to give away. Crazy. Got to get my protein up, man. Got to go big leg session today. Not looking forward to it. I'm weighing in heavy right now, man. £217 now into winter bulk. We're not getting that breakdown here yet. The liquidity is starting to dry up. Just be careful now because you're into lunch. If there's a short covering squeeze, risk manage your position. You are rejecting volume. Like, there's nothing to say we move higher right now. You are rejecting volume. All right, we built the shelf. You're rejecting it. There's a good reason to trade lower right now. All I'm saying is just manage your position. Don't let it trade back through volume. All right, don't be like adding at lows and trying to let it come up here and add. Don't be doing that. The trade was from here to here to here, and maybe here. Do not let it reclaim this and keep fighting the tape. You still look good for low. VIX has got to hurry up though. It's being a bit of a bitch. Where was that 200 lot? I just see him. Where is he stuck? 47. 747 is where shorts really took control on the last move. I'll get back. There it is. There is JD. But it's just not traded as much. There is. So the reason I don't use it is because most of the volume's done actually on the VIX. There is one for the Nasdaq. What's it called? But the volume on it is way less. So I just don't find it as reliable. Let me find it. VXM. Yeah. I don't want the futures. Hang on. That's the Nasdaq one. It's just I just don't like it by comparison. It's just like there's not. It's not really traded very much. I find the VIX like actually quite reliable. Here you go. You're gonna get your lows. You're gonna get your lows. Well done, guys. Who's managing those? Did I sell the exact point where the indicator said sell? I think I was earlier. I was at 50s. No, so I was earlier. Oh, my first sell was right here. Well, it's actually here. I sold that, covered, sold that, and I added, and I added. You're going to get it, guys. You're going to get it. These bulls are in big fucking trouble. Naz wants to fill the weekly opening gap. It's possible. It's possible. That gap is pretty big. So this is the top of the gap. And this is the demand at the bottom of the gap. All right, which is why we're looking for 500s today. If we're going to get weak and fill it, it's possible. It's not guaranteed, but it's possible. Remember, ES spiders, they already filled it, but it is possible. Yes, the target today was 500s. If we can stay weak. No worries, JD. Don't mean to be annoying, but Black Friday on the 28th. Any chance of a sale? Yeah, I was asking when it is. So 28th of November. I can do a little Black Friday sale for that. Yes, it's a month away. I can do that. Yeah, Sinner, some people do just use the indicator like that, and they use the pullbacks as well. There are guys in chat that use it. Okay, so it gave you two opportunities, and it also gave you a pullback sell here. So there's your main sell, there's your pullback sell. It would have fired off a long this morning as well. There's your buy. All right, so buy, sell, pullback sell. All right. They're just guides though. Okay, they are accurate, but they're guides. I always talk about the flow zones are like a stabilizer, or like going to a bowling alley and having the gutters, whatever you want to call it, protection put up so you can't throw a gutter ball. You don't fight the flow zones. I know you can argue I was early fighting it, but when you understand structure and traps, you can get a more accurate, entry. Once I saw 80s fail and we saw 50s fail, and I was how much earlier? 25 points earlier. Bumpers, that's it. Bumpers at the lanes. All right, so they're protecting previous week low, just about. There's 700. So the 720s we talked about, they're going to come and back test those 720s now. And if they stay heavy versus 720s to 740s, you can continue for selling down. There's absolutely no reason to be long in this. There's zero reason to be long in this right now, folks. You should be looking for sell side only. I am going to get out of here shortly. I think we've had a really good stream. We've made good money today. I don't want to force our way in. I think you can continue to, I honestly think you can continue to hold this for a bleed. All I would say is two things to bear into account. One would be the volatility. You might get swipes, but until it reclaims any key level, you are short side, like I've been all day looking for shorts. Two is end of day. Just be careful into end of day. We have big earnings today, all right? So I wouldn't be holding too long into power hour and stuff. I've checked the buy and sell signals. They are precisely on the zones I would sell according to my own strategy. It's a good confidence boost, very accurate. Yeah, that's exactly how to see it. Confidence, whatever you want to call it. Everyone can say, oh, there are lines on your charts, they just make it cluttered. And I would agree with you to some extent, to be honest, especially when we're trading in range back and forwards. But, once you understand what they're doing, it's pretty easy, isn't it? Like, don't fight against them, play with them. Like, is there a reason to buy down here? No. Are we coming into an area of interest? Yeah. But is momentum on your side? No. Do we probably want to go lower? Yeah. So don't buy it. Are the flow zones in a sell? Yeah. So don't buy it. Is volume trapped above you? Yeah. So don't buy it. Right, the amount of retail that's trying to buy this right now, thinking we're going to go back to all-time highs, it's not going to happen. Right, it's going to have to put in pivots first before it does that. We are in a bleed. Like, it's the first day we've been in a bleed for a long time, and we're only 1.5% down. This market can afford a big rotation for a number of days. It's up. I'm going to have to measure it out again. It's up huge on the year. Right, so from... if we just go from 2024 highs, right, highs of 24, we're up 17% to the highs of the year. Remember, your average move is 11%. So from the highs of 2024, we're up 17%. From the low of year to the high of year, we're up 60%. That's 6 years of growth we've had. Just understand what I'm talking about here. Since April, we've had 6 years of growth. It's not normal, folks. We can afford a pullback. It can afford a pullback. At some point, they're going to get caught trying to buy every 0.5%, 1% pullback. It's going to need to do like a 10, 20% pullback. Whether it's this side of January or not, I don't know. My gut feeling is that we pull back a little bit, we find some bids, we go on a Santa Claus rally into January, and then we maybe start the selling next year, but who knows? Capped, thanks Alex. Got the W on earlier, small short. I missed the big one due to work. No worries, mate. Had to watch it go by. Well, good for you for not chasing in. What's the best time frame to use on any indicator? It will work on any time frame. It all depends what you're comfortable trading on. It will shift to your time frame. So if you move to a 5 minute now and you play 5 minute pullbacks, that's fine. I like it lower time frame, like 2 minute, 3 minute, 1 minute. Yeah, obviously 1 minute more noise, but you'll get the shift earlier. Yeah, exactly, Roscoe. We talked about that. Anyone that's joined me, we talked about the BTC. I was saying I would not be a buyer in this thing. It started to it's the same. It's really good to do this, that you've mentioned that. This is the same principles on BTC right now, right? Think about the old range. That is a look above and a fail. We come back into range. We've now rejected that range. Where are we going? We're going outside of that range now. Where are we going to hunt? We're going to hunt liquidity. We're going to hunt for stops. We're going to think about pivots and pullbacks. Coming into 50% of this move, probably going to come further down. I would expect more of a bleed. Why do I expect more of a bleed? We've been bullish for over 1,000 days. If you look at the cycles in Bitcoin, bull cycles are about 1,000 days. It's over. It's had its 1,000 days. It's due a pullback and a cool down for a bit. And then as we start ramping up into the next halving, you'll see the next move. The only thing that's different is the government this time is more risk on with Bitcoin. But, you know, it's due. It is due. Do you have the flow zone, VWAPs, etc. for VIX? Yeah. So on VIX, mate, I just have it on a 5-minute. I don't have VWAP. I do have the flow zones just so on a quick look, I can just see where we are versus trend. But only on a 5-minute. I don't look at the VIX on a 1 minute. 5 minute, 10 minutes, plenty. All you need to see is the direction and who's trapped on the VIX. Well, I hope they're okay, Roscoe, because all I would say is when you're in your 70s, you shouldn't be risk on. You should have been risk on in your 20s and 30s. You get slightly more risk off in the 40s, slightly more risk off in the 50s, completely risk off in the 60s, and you should be enjoying fruits of your labor in the 70s. So I hope he's okay, because that's a big risk. Vic's starting to go now, completing that inverse head and shoulder if it breaks here, or W, whatever you want to call it. If it starts squeezing upside it, market's going to get weak. Yeah, you still look good to hold. No reason not to keep holding this. Just a series of lower highs, lower lows. Nothing's changed. Here's the snap. There's your previous week low. So this is your next TP, and now you're just looking for lower day, folks. You are looking for lower day. This thing's in big trouble. You look good. Aggressive selling. Just be careful that this isn't the low that they put in, because if they pick this back up. But I think you look good for a new low of day here, folks. It's coming. And once you get under that, oh my God. Oh my God. There's buyers down here. 25,675, 25,660. I think you trade through all of these guys eventually, whether it's now or later. It's coming. You've just let go previous week low. That green line is previous week low. This is your Globex. This is IB, and you have a level down here. I honestly think you're just going to keep trading lower. No, there's no bid in the market. They're all trapped. Like every time frame trader is trapped right now. And hopefully everything I talked about makes sense. Oof. Kind of jealous that I took my profits there, but I was teaching. I can't manage and teach. Alex, will the stream be uploaded to your YouTube channel? I'm not sure if you want to edit a bit to be clear. That free class you gave this morning. I really enjoy your stream. It will be uploaded straight after this. I will not be editing it. I will not be giving that free education to people who don't turn up on the stream. Here's initial balance low. So your cover point here, and underneath this, it gets very, very bleak for these traders, folks. Very, very, very bleak for these guys. So your next point is 645. Like I said, new lows incoming. Congratulations, everyone that held this all the way to the bottom. It was a highly probable move. Once you understand who's trapped, you just trade in the direction of their pain. You can pay yourself a bit here, but I still think we're moving lower at this point. VIX completing that move now, breaking out like we talked about. If VIX keeps going, this market is game over. Game over, okay? It's game over. Yeah, exactly. VIX is going for it, mate. Here you go. Here you go. Huge selling down here. Just move your stop down now and make sure you're protecting it. You don't want to get trapped on these huge sellers, but you want to just see this continue to bleed. Absolutely phenomenal trade. Phenomenal trade. Like I said, don't be a bidder on a market like this. You got to be very silly. Very silly. And we've traded into Globex low here. This blue box is actually your pivot low from pre-market. Once that snaps, we're going to go leg down again. You'd need them to build out a bit of liquidity here would be nice before they just snap and puke. But next level you'd be looking at is basically 570 into 500. That's your next cover point, folks, down here. All right, 570 into 500. That's your next cover point. Yeah, congrats everyone that got that. There was very big selling at the low here, so just be careful. 336 lot. So just be careful. When you see that, it can often be exhaustion to the sell side. So just be careful here. But my bet would be we will move down to 570 to 500 at some point today. You're not that far away. What we're trading at, it's only 100 points more. So this is a 200-point banger for you guys now. I'm going to get the weekly newsletter up. I've got to almost remind myself of what I said. I can't even remember what I put in it now as the levels, but I think they're coming up now. Let's read it. It's the wrong week. Let me see. What did we put? Let's see. See how accurate we were this week. For bears, the roadmap into next week is straightforward. The objective is to trap prior week buyers overhead. Guess what we did today? Continuation rotations between 26,250 and 25,900 are possible, but any new break above all-time highs must resolve in a look above and fail scenario. Otherwise, the bullish train will leave the station. Bears can begin to gain traction on a decisive break below 25,900, with 25,500 as the first downside target, followed by a retest of the RBS at 25,350. Sustained selling beneath these levels would signal genuine bearish intent and mark the first meaningful shift towards a risk-off environment. 25,900 was your signal for a break below that. Wow. 25,500 is your target. Clear as day. Clear as day. All right. One thing you have to respect is the IBs, like we talked about. No break above IB high, no break above IB low. If we go below this level, look, we just wicked out this wick here and trading back inside. Your trend will occur, all right? You might think about this. This is what I'd be looking at now, is if you build one of these here or one of these here or that move here. It might not happen today, might happen tomorrow, but there's your damage, there's your cup. If they reject this, they're going to aim for those 500s. I guess a lot of it depends if they want to save tech ahead of AMD, but let's see. Let's see. But yeah, you hit your TPs really. Like that was a killer trade. And like we said, once you saw that massive selling, look at Bookmap here. I'll pull it over for you. This guy here, once you saw that, that's the exhaustion. And then we traded away from him. Same as you see at the top. I still think we can trade lower at some point today. But that was your reaction. I think I'm going to call it there, folks. I think that is about as clean a day as you can have. Really, really, really nice. Really, really, really nice. TP1 660, runners to the grave. Lovely work. Nice, Roscoe. Yeah, cup and handle, exactly, Noah. All right, folks. Any questions before I go? You know what I'm looking for. Obviously, I'm not in it now. I'd wait to see how you act in here now. Maybe it doesn't even make it that far, but you want to see how you act at volume. But there's definitely, look at the huge volume exchange at the low. This is always a sign of exhaustion. Look at this exchange. Look at the delta. Sell into buy. Sell into buy. All right. You don't want to be shorting down here. That's where people get stuck. Is everyone good? Has everyone made their bag? Yeah, Roscoe says great day. Oh, we didn't do a giveaway. Did we do enough likes to do a free introduction course? I didn't even check. My bad, folks. How many likes are we at? Where can I see them? 109. No. That's poor. That's poor. We'll roll it over for tomorrow. Okay, team. And Adam, what time are Arsenal on? Is it now? All I've got to do today is go to the gym and watch Arsenal. 20 minutes. Okay, I'll have to watch that first, I guess. All right, team. Big love, everyone. Thank you for joining today. Hopefully this stream's been useful for you. Hopefully you've learned something on this stream. Maybe there's some content here which is going to change your trading in the future. Even if you didn't catch any of these moves today, whether it's the squeeze upside or the collapse, that's okay. As long as you're learning, and that includes if you got stuck the wrong way, as long as you're learning from your mistakes, right? You will improve as a trader when you learn from your mistakes. It's not all going to be winners, but understanding how the market moves is your sort of first key. And then after that, it's really self-control. Can you control yourself? All those in Discord, I will be in later. I'll pop in. Let me watch my beloved Arsenal and have a little gym session, but I will keep my phone on me and I'll be looking out for anything. As you see, we trade back up to value now. And yeah, that's it, folks. Peace and love. Be kind to each other. Use hard stops. And yeah, lock in those gains. And same thing tomorrow. All right, we go again tomorrow morning. Peace out.